Andrew, can you hear me?
I can hear you, buddy.
All right, so let's go. Can you?
Yeah,
We're
I can
going
hear you on
live
the
in
restream.
just
It's just
1
there's
second
a
on the
delay.
stream. So what I need is for you to
That's okay.
just see if you can check my Stevo space or X account and see if we're live.
Yeah, I can hear you on the restream. It's just there's a delay.
There's a delay. Yeah. Okay.
But that's okay.
But that's okay. Yeah, because if they're streaming, they'll see that only. So.
Well, that's why you get paid the big bucks, man. We need a
Perfect. All right, I think I got this.
We'll find out.
After years of performance anxiety, I think I finally figured all this out.
Well, that's why you get paid the big bucks, man.
Don't put the cart before the horse.
Designer.
I know, and I see BZ. I see you're in here. Thank you for offering the help. I think I had it dialed in. Thanks for the tips. I think I got this though. So
don't put the cart before the horse. Don't get too excited.
So if just so everybody that's listening or everybody that's on the streams, I am streaming through the YouTube channel as well for the Telfam Chats YouTube channel, and then my personal Crypto Stevo account should be streaming as well. So if you're anywhere out there in the space, you can listen to in any of those channels. So. But yeah, it looks like we're getting a bunch of people joining already. We'll give it a few more minutes. Get those whiskeys poured, beers cracked, whatever your poison is for the evening.
It stayed for a little bit longer than we thought, probably 4 or 5 days, but we're back to green
Andrew,
grass.
is it snowing up there?
I'm going to talk Celsius.
No, we had some snow maybe a couple of weeks ago. It stayed for a little bit longer than we thought,
for this time of
probably
year
4 or 5 days, but
pretty hot.
we're back to green grass.
Yeah, well, listen, you do you, I'll do me, like we always do. You chirp me, I'll chirp you.
Last week, which for this time of year is pretty hot. But
we speak American here.
Want to deal with the American? You want to deal with the maple syrup mafia?
You chirp me, I'll chirp you.
Yeah, the land of the beavers and the moose. You can keep all that, buddy.
Listen, if you want to deal with
beaches and palm trees,
you want to deal with the maple syrup mafia?
He's back, baby.
No, I don't want your redcoats coming after me. All right, we see Cody's in the house for the first time in a very long time. Good to see you here, man.
He's back, baby.
He's back. Who else we got? Matt had a birthday last week. I'm sure he's gonna want to chime in. So before we get started, if anybody just plans on speaking tonight, just raise your hand now.
So we known for not talking too much.
Bring you up,
and it's always good to have new people coming up.
Get the show on
with us.
Yeah, for those that don't know, we want this to be as interactive as possible. Me and Steve are known for not talking too much. So, it's always good to have new people coming up and chatting with us.
Yes. So, big news, man. We got a lot to talk about tonight, a lot to cover. It's been a wild couple weeks in the
he asked to come up. I let him up.
Telcoin space. If you're all caught up with that. I'm sorry, BZ, what was that? Let me get BZ up here because he's sending me messages, but I didn't catch it.
Yeah, I let him up.
So yeah, we're gonna.
He said something about my the bank approval voice on the stream or whatnot.
Obviously, that's big news.
I've been saying that for years.
Stop it. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the bank approval. Obviously that's big news. We do have a lot more things to cover, but it is signed, sealed, and delivered. The team has shared out the documentation that is basically shared the document to the universe, and it's game on, man, right? So we're going to brag for the team.
Since May 2021, that was LD49 got
but yeah, we
like I know
super
even
exciting, Andrew. We've been waiting for this for what seems
since
forever,
I
right?
feel like since May
he's got a big
2021,
podcast that he's
since
probably
LD
doing next week
49
that hopefully comes out next week as well
passed
too.
in
But
Nebraska.
it's
Yeah,
been
that's right.
7
Yeah,
8
like I know
years.
even Paul keeps saying, like I know he's been doing a lot of meetings and conferences and
He
stuff like
has
that. And I think he's got a big podcast that he's
listening
probably
and
doing this week that
not
hopefully
only
comes
just
out next
today,
week as well too. But
network
it's
is
been
kinda
7-8 years
through,
in the
you know,
making,
everything
really,
is just
right, with everything that they've been doing, and to finally have
here,
everything kind of come to
beginning or,
fruition, and not
early
only just the bank,
2020s,
but like
it's
it's
just
it seems like the
the
network
state
is kind of coming in at the same time too, and
finally
everything
here.
is just kind of coming all at once,
Still, right? Like,
which
and
is
the funny
again
part
for
is,
everybody that's kind of been here,
now it's
since the beginning, or
really just getting started.
early 2020s,
Still
it's
like
just
a long
that
road
state
ahead of us,
where it's
but
like, okay,
the regulatory
it's
side of
finally here,
things,
like let's
Correct.
go, and right, like, and the funny part is too, like
now,
we
let's
like now it's
get the
just
bank
getting started,
open.
like it's really
get
just getting
started,
started,
and,
right, like
this
we still
is
have like a
good
long
portion,
road ahead of us, but
this
Yeah.
is
the regulatory side of things have finally come to fruition. We've got everything in place now. Let's get the bank open. Let's get business started, and this we were just talking about this before, Steve, but this is a company at this point, right? Like this is not a crypto project
This is true.
anymore,
Yeah.
right? This is a business. This is a long-term, sustainable business where they're flipping essentially the existing traditional banking markets almost upside down, right?
Yeah, we as a community have to stop calling it a project. I mean, this is no longer, and it hasn't been for quite some time. I think it's just habitual, right? We just keep saying, the Telcoin project. It's not a project. I mean, this is a sustainable company. I mean, it's got a banking license now. It's got 21 subsidiary locations, right? It's got headquarters and C-suite, and like it is a fully functional company that we just need to embrace as a company and instead of a project, right? I mean, it's taken those steps above and beyond what we typically see in the crypto sphere, right? And I couldn't be prouder. I mean, we've all been in this project for a very long time, and I know we're gaining some new attention as well. So let me, Andrew, before we jump into anything else, I want to make sure we get the disclaimer out for those that are new. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that this is just a community chat. There's nothing in here that's going to be financial advice. And if you make life-changing decisions with your money based on an X space, that's on you, not us. And just be clear, we do not represent Telcoin, the Telcoin Association. At least tonight, Andrew still holds his seat, but tonight he is just a community member, and nothing's official tonight. We're just here to hang out and talk Telcoin, the company. So now that's out of the way.
Let's go.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, no, back to the bank, man. And please, like, I know there's more people in here that want to talk and share their excitement.
Do your job,
So
man.
please, feel free to raise your hand and jump in. BZ, you're already a speaker if you want.
Yeah, no, you know what I think might be a good
on
idea.
it. Cody,
That's your point where I think we're
choose a
getting a little bit
speaker.
more attention.
I'm on it. Co-host is on it. Don't worry.
Yeah, geez, man.
Telfam.
Liberty's in here.
We are here, so we do call ourselves the Telfam.
Yeah, no, what I
but
think might be a good idea. To your point,
where
Steve, you mentioned earlier that Liberty was able to, outside of the Telfam community.
I think maybe
Telfam, for those that don't know, we are
going
family here, so we do call ourselves the Telfam. But I think
from there,
to your point, Steve, you mentioned earlier that Liberty was able to put a little bit of a timeline together. I think maybe walking through that a little bit, and going through kind of the steps.
I don't know if you want to go through it. If you want me to go
this
through
point,
it,
might be a good idea, and then just kind of from there we can get to a point where okay, now we've got the charter, and what does that mean? Kind of moving forward. So I think that might be a good place to start.
Sure. Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to go through it. You want me to go through it? But
yeah, no, I'll hop through it real quick. And this was care of Liberty.
I'm trying to give him credit.
He pulled this information together, and I told him I was stealing it, and because he didn't trademark anything. So here we are. I'm gonna go through it.
You're such a savage, man. At least I'm trying to give him credit.
laws are in place to be enforced. There's no law in place if you didn't follow the rules. So.
But and you don't get upset.
That's right. No, but all credit to Liberty on this timeline. He was nice enough to share it with us so we could kind of go through it through the on the space. So starting back in December of 2024, that's when Paul, for those that are new here, I'm sure you've seen the name Paul Nooner float around as Telfam CEO. Back then in December 24, they acquired just under 25% of Battle Creek State Bank, which is located in Nebraska, 24.9 to be exact. So I'm sure there's some reasoning for those numbers or whatnot, but what Nooner was going after, his goal was to eventually bring it under the same bank holding company at Telfam's digital asset bank, right? So that gave them an in for a community bank in the area that they were trying to establish a digital asset bank. Also gave them an opportunity to blend traditional banking
one thing I'll mention on
services
there too,
and
the
insurances like
direct
FDIC here in the States.
through
And
the
so all that was inner workings behind the scenes as they started making these moves in order to get this thing across the finish line. So,
and for those that don't know,
one thing I'll mention on there too is
went
that
to sign,
direct connection to the Fed rails too,
the agreement,
the partnership and the
photo printer,
ownership with Battle Street,
where they went to go and get it.
Battle Creek,
didn't
sorry, I should
have
say
any
State Bank.
white paper left. So
And for those that don't know, oddly enough
printed
too,
on
when they
almost
actually
like
went
Telfam
to sign,
blue, piece of paper. So
the
you guys can go
agreement,
back and try to find it.
the photo printer where they went to go and get it printed didn't have any white paper left, so it actually was printed on like almost like a Telcoin blue piece of paper. So you guys can go back and try to find it and see it, but like just again like a nice little kind of little tidbit that if you guys weren't aware, it's just it's funny looking back and seeing it now with like all the pieces kind of finally coming together, just like those little things that kind of happened along the way.
yeah, no, yeah, it's a great little point, man. It was funny seeing that good old man, that obviously is middle Nebraska, just a good old guy, just and Paul there in a blazer, right, shaking hands over a piece of over a blue piece of paper, Telcoin blue. So it was good times back then. We were all excited. That actually 2021 when LB 649 happened and all this started to progress. That's actually back when, like when this groundwork was laid. That was right before our last blast in pricing, right? So right after that, we went up to 6.5 cents. Which I'm sure everybody in here that holds Felcoin and has been around for that long remembers those days specifically. So, but yeah, so moving forward, we covered, his acquisition of the portion of Battle Creek State Bank. Then, so recently things started clicking pretty quickly, right? According to this timeline. So, and April 16th of 2025, Logan Valley Investments out of Oakland, Nebraska, they filed to be a bank holdings company by acquiring Battle Creek State Bank. So now they're the parent. The Fed registered notice application to become a bank holding company to acquire Battle Creek State Company in Battle Creek. Then in June, the Federal Reserve granted conditional approval for Logan Valley's acquisition. And Nebraska Department reports that the Fed approved Logan Valley's application transaction to close between June 28th and September 28th. Then in August, Logan Valley closed the acquisition of the Battle Creek State Bank, so gaining controlling interest. So yeah, I mean, these steps have been started to move progressively quicker as things were lining up, and the I don't know, and this is all speculation, but whatever
just think about
discussions were happening to allow them to have the confidence to start moving forward through these processes,
so many things
that's between them and those walls, but it happened, right? So,
just think about the conversations and everything that was happening, even like behind the scenes before we actually even got into this timeline too, right? Like,
yeah.
so many things kind of going on behind the scenes conversations, and between Paul and probably Mike Flood and all that kind of stuff too, and getting things going right. So
Yeah, one of the things we did skip was back in February is when they got the original conditional approval, right? So they got the conditional approval. They had, I think it was in the teens, a number of things that they had to complete prior.
I want to say 16 was the number.
16 or something like that. Yeah. And so with that conditional approval, that really gave them the green light to start working on
every
this
kind of
stuff.
terms of marketing, like stuff like that. Just kind
Yeah,
of different.
I was just gonna say for context too, like some of the stuff was like set standard. Like,
and then I know through that
I
process,
think one of the conditions was that they needed to state, Telfam Bank, a digital asset bank, in every kind of terms of marketing, like stuff like that, just to kind of differentiate between a traditional bank and a digital asset bank. And then through that process, I can't remember exactly how they made that transition, because initially I think they applied as Telfam Bank, a digital asset bank, and then I can't remember exactly when they officially changed it to Telfam Digital Asset Bank, or
I think that was one of that was one of the conditions with the Nebraska banking officials, right? Is that they didn't want,
back in 2021, right?
I don't know why, but they didn't want Telcoin to be called just Telcoin Bank.
Yeah,
They had to make sure that there was
remember
differentiation.
the old user's name.
It was a digital asset bank.
That was always the one that
was one of the conditions. So, and I think that was laid out back in 2021, right? I mean, that was when they were coming out of that law passing. I think that was one of the iterations that
were trying to remember that old geezer's name in Nebraska. That was always the one that was, stepping up.
I don't understand any of this stuff.
Well, it's because you're 95. Go to bed.
Go to bed. Yeah, just vote and go to bed, pal. Get your early bird dinner and go to bed. Anyway, but so yeah, these are really the timelines for those that are kind of new here. Obviously this core group of Telfam has been around for a long time and progressively watched these steps happen in real time. Some a little more. Some Telfam are a little more patient than others, but all in all, we are where we're at, and I couldn't be prouder of the team, the foresight that they've had to build this industry first digital asset bank, and then tying it into the network, which we'll get into a little bit later, and how this is all
who cares? We're the bank. Let's go.
Andrew and I were talking a little earlier, and the market sucks right now, right? Prices are dropping, Bitcoin's down, and dragging all.
Who cares? We're the bank. Let's go.
Well, yeah. So this is what my point we're getting at. So yes, it sucks, right? You look at your wallet and you see the depreciation and the dollars falling, or the numbers going down, but you just look at the company that you're now involved with, when one capacity or the other, whether you're a token holder, and an investor into the holding side of things. There's so many different avenues and players in this game now that you look at it and you're like, holy shit, they did it. They got the bank. You could see the network testing happening real time, right? I mean, the transparency as these things progress through, Andrew, is mind-boggling. And to close loop this, that's why I don't. It sucks that the prices are falling in our assets, but it doesn't bother me because I know where the end result is headed. So that's my soapbox. I'll get off of it now.
We're all here for the tech, right?
To your point, market.
Yeah, that's right.
To your point, I feel like
Bitcoin's
at what are we at, so to speak, for a while, and we finally kind of the precipice where we're actually walking into the eye of the storm, and things are kind of calming down. Again, to your point, market is shit right now. It is what it is. Bitcoin's at what are we at, 87?
We've been through this before, though.
Yeah,
right?
again, it's not the first time we've been in crypto for a while. 30% drops doesn't phase me. I think my dad,
we got a
you know,
question coming up,
they'd
so
lose their shit if that
what we
was
want.
happening.
So,
But you know,
Corey,
you get
Yeah.
used to it.
see your you got a question.
Oh, I get pissed when my
welcome,
stocks
and,
drop 7%, but in crypto, I don't give a damn. Like, I
Let it
know
ride,
what's
let
gonna
it
happen.
ride.
Yeah, that's right.
But
That's right.
we got a question coming up, so hey, this is what we want. So Corey, we see you got a question. So welcome, and let's hear it.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. So I've known about Telcoin for a long time. I'll get to my question in just 1 second. In 2019, no, long story. Basically, I learned about Telcoin in 2019. I actually got my dad's boomer friend into it back in the day. It was the first crypto he ever bought outside of ETH. My other friend, I told him to buy Telcoin. He completely forgot about it. And then one day he in 2021, I'm like, bro, you still got Telcoin, right? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I'm like, it's like 4 cents, bro. And he looked, and like I think it was like $500 turned into like 11 grand or something like that.
Nice.
And yeah, my dad's friend, he put in like $200 and ended up being like 4,000. So he bought like he leased a car with. I know it's not a lot of money, but like the gains are there, and that's the thing. So,
If you look at it percentage wise, yeah, they're huge, right? I mean, you're not going to make that buying Nike or Apple.
Yeah,
I mean, those gains are sick. So.
It's all relative, right? Everybody's got different risk profiles and how much funds they kind of put into this kind of stuff, right? So it's like we've had other people on spaces
Tell the Driven,
like
Khalil,
Steve,
I think his name is, but
where you know someone was like literally in a car and like living in a car, and then Telcoin literally brought him out of poverty, right? So it's
changed his life completely.
Yeah. What's Tell the Driven, Khalil, I think his name is.
But, Khalil, yep.
No. So again, it doesn't really matter how much you got into it. It's more just out of relativity, you know, what it does for you in your situation, in your atmosphere. But
yeah, bro. I mean, listen, I'm buying. I love what you guys are doing. Like, I really do. Like, I think that basically, like, yeah, I know that this ecosystem, I mean, crypto has become just fucking memes and dogs. It's not like 2017 anymore, where it's like actual smart contract platforms getting the limelight. But I have a feeling that's going to come back. I guess my question to you guys is: I know Telcoin's going to have a main net. Oh, and by the way, BZ and I just had a stream. It was really cool. Am I able to pin it to the nest, or is that a no?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I got it. All right. I got it bookmarked. I know I got some driving to do tomorrow. So I plan on listening into it tomorrow. So
awesome. How do I even do that? Am I? Oh, here we go. Sorry.
I think you just copy the link and put it in there.
Everyone in here, check out the stream and subscribe if you like the video. I'm gonna try to do. I have more Telcoin content on the way. I may. I spoke to JT Quigley. And he's trying to set up something between Paul and I, and BZ's trying to set between another gentleman. So I'm trying my best to get the word out there. I guess my question is, when Telcoin goes onto mainnet, are we gonna have to do a migration with our ERC20 Telcoin?
No. So
no. Great. Good. Okay.
Like you'll have to bridge like you do with like other chains, but like there's no migration that you're gonna have to do, right? Like Telcoin is an Ethereum token. It's on
for everybody else
on Base. I think we're on Arbitrum at this point right now too. But once the Telcoin network comes up and running, essentially it's just going to be transferring tokens, bridging tokens from one chain to another. There's not going to be a migration. So just for everybody else that's listening too, be aware, obviously, with a lot more eyes on the project, there's going to be a lot more scammers trying to take your Telcoin. So just be mindful and follow channels that are legitimate. We recently got the gold star for the Telcoin account, the Telcoin Association account. So follow those channels to get the most accurate information. If somebody's telling you there's a giveaway or a migration or something like that, it's a scam.
Hey, you don't say that. That's going to be part of our mandate on the Telex Council.
We are not on BNB.
More chains and
we're not.
Thank God. No. Nothing against Binance chain, but thank God.
Hey, don't say that. So that's going to be
they're working
what our mandate on the bridging to get more chains involved.
Bridging.
Yeah, but they're looking at a tool for that, right?
I don't want to go too deep into the woods, but
interoperability.
dev.
Well, they're working with Axlar in terms of like that bridging.
Axlar, yeah.
Yep. Just in terms of in the bridging whatnot.
But
More
challenges on their end.
I don't want to go too deep into the woods, but in talking to Grant, the lead dev on the network, essentially he doesn't want us bridging to any new networks until the network is live because it causes more challenges on their end once the
we did that
network is actually
recently.
live. It's going to be a lot smoother and a lot easier to get onto new chains once the network is up and running, as opposed to doing it now and then transitioning after.
A little bit, just
so we did that recently. I won't say recently, but a while back, probably the early part of the year, we had got the token on Arbitrum, and he's like, "Yeah, like I like what you guys are doing, but like here's what's going on. Let's just slow the roll a little bit, just because it's going to be a lot easier and a lot smoother for everything, like the ecosystem moving forward once the network is actually up and running."
Corey, did you have another question? I see your hand up.
Yeah. So I guess my last question is like the Ethereum-based token.
Well,
you said
always
there's going to have to
have
be a bridge, so that I understand. So the price differential between, let's say, an ETH-TEL and a Telcoin mainnet TEL, there's no change. There's not going to be a change in valuation between the two.
Well, you're always going to have like arbitrage opportunities between exchange and stuff like that. But no, like again, the values should be somewhat similar. If they're not, then that's an arbitrage opportunity for somebody to potentially move some TEL from one chain to the next. I know when we initially got on like the base network,
there's probably going to be those
kind of like 1 million TEL, and then I actually ended up getting like 1.1 just because of the slippage and the transfer. I don't think it's like the same 10% adjustment now, but there's probably going to be those kind of opportunities.
Again, it shouldn't be, but even if it is,
the chain gets more mature. That's obviously going to go away.
Moving stuff around, like it's not
so that's I was just hoping that it wasn't like a 20% difference in price.
Oh God, no.
Again, it shouldn't be, but even if it is, it'll be for a very limited time, just while people kind of get used to adjusting
stick around.
Stuff around. Like it's not going to be a permanent thing that you see for years to come. It's just not going to happen.
Have any other questions? Kind of cool. Feel free to.
I think that's my last question. And I was
well, stick around. Stick around, Corey, if you want. And if through listening to idiots talk about Telfam, and you have any other questions kind of come up, feel free to raise your hand again.
So Corey, just to let you know that this being your first space, the swearing does increase and the knowledge decreases as these things go along, right? So
it's okay.
I'm just warning you now. It's we get into some of these 3-hour sessions and
it's a whiskey chat.
No, that's all good. Don't worry about that. I come from very rowdy, boisterous communities. So don't worry about that.
So let's before we move on, let's get Cody up here for a second if he has a chance to talk. It's been a while, my friend.
Yeah,
Cody, what's up, brother?
I want to see how you.
Get Cody up for sure. But after that too, I think we had Joe and Douglas that had come up. I assume they had questions. But if you guys do, maybe just raise your hand so we know for sure you got that question. Cody, what's up, brother?
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
Nothing much.
How's the family, man? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a bit, man. I had to take a step back after DFX and just hit real world for a bit. Family's doing good. My daughter is almost 6 months, and so that's been man. It's like you want her to grow up and not at the same time. It's like but it's been amazing. She's super happy, and my son, he's getting ready to start like preschool, and so it's just been it's just been so much, especially just at the new job too. It's just running full speed, but it's like usually that's whenever I just need to stay busy, right? And that's the reason why I applied to, had some pushing and nudging from community members, but like I've been around since almost inception, and it's like
Cody, I was just
I got involved, but like I never really like took a part in like the DAO or TAO as you call it, and so it's I've always been active in that space. So it's like why not, right? And so
maybe
Cody
for you.
Cody, I was just going to say,
You
maybe
just
for those
hit
who are
everybody
not
with
familiar
quick
with you,
Telfam
maybe you
story.
want to just give like a quick, update of, your journey with Telcoin, because like you are one of the OGs,
The one with
doing
the
deep dives
background where
on
everything's going
financials
on.
and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe just hit everybody with your quick Telcoin story.
Yeah,
Cody is Charlie in that Always Sunny meme.
The one with
Yeah, with the
the
big red
background where
lines on the
everything's
board.
going
Yeah,
on. Yeah.
yeah,
just
I
not
get
just,
it.
but it makes sense. It all makes sense, right? We're here now, right? Yeah, no, just to give a little background. Yeah, I got into crypto early 2017, and had no clue what I was doing. Telcoin launched on KuCoin somewhere. I think it was either December or January of 2018, somewhere around there. And had a friend talk about it, and I was like, okay, cool. I'll just buy this. I can get a lot for a really low price. And that was like the going trend back then, was like, people are buying either XRP, because you could get a bunch, or ADA, etc. And so I started like, I always had an X account, but I just never really used it. And so started talking, started, trying to educate people on like, hey, this company is actually building something. Like, they're not just, yeah, they're talking about it, but like, they're moving in the right direction. They're building and solving a solution, or having a solution to a problem. And so, yeah, through that whole entire time, we went up. I remember looking at my portfolio and being like, okay, I mean, what am I going to do? Like, I can't take the money out at this point. And so ended up just being convicted. And just when you root yourself in, I guess reality, and, you try to just be, I don't know, look at the thing, be a straight shooter with shit. I knew I wasn't crazy. Like, I just knew Telcoin was it. It was going to have something behind it. And I just kept talking and trying to educate people, slowly building my, I guess you could call it a brand on my own, but, just trying to help people. And then, yeah, 2021 came around, and a lot of people made a lot of money, and a lot of people still held on to it, all the way to the, back to where it was, or I guess you could say close to where it was. And so, yeah, I've just been around talking and trying to educate people. Got involved professionally back in 2021, working with protocol called DFX. And then now I do social media and community management over.
It's funny, it's cliche, but you are early in a sense. And
Before,
so
but it
it's
may
like,
have
if
been
you
on
have
like
a
a
profile,
private call,
you're
or
not
maybe one of the
talking,
tan
you're doing
calls.
yourself a disservice. You need
I
to like
think it's,
start talking.
all you people
Because
hear right
essentially you're
now
being
are,
involved with Telcoin, you're talking about
it's
Telcoin.
funny, it's cliche,
Those
but
people,
you
you're like,
are
hey
early
dude,
in a
like,
sense.
you may
And
not
so it's
think
like,
this
if
is
you
like a
have
huge
a
product,
profile
but I'm
and you're
telling
not
you,
talking, you're
overseas, like
doing
I've been
yourself
in
a
Africa,
disservice. You
seeing
need to like start
if
talking,
you could pick
because
up your
essentially
phone
you're
and
being
literally
involved with Telcoin. You're talking about
see
Telcoin. Show
like a
those
tax,
people, be like, hey,
like
dude, like, you may not need this, like this
fractions
product,
of a
but I'm
penny is
telling you,
tax
overseas,
dependent, right?
I've
You're
been to
talking about like
Africa. I've
losing people
seen it
like Western
in
Union,
person.
MoneyGram,
And if
all
you could
those
pick up your
people
phone and
have to
literally send
basically
a
they're
stable
gonna
coin,
like
like a
they're gonna be out of
text,
business. And
like,
so
that's insane.
build
And
up
if
your own
you're
brand,
a
start
fractions of a
talking about it
penny,
because
if
you never
that, to
know
send
where
it,
that's gonna
right?
lead
You're
to
talking
in the
about
long
like
run.
moving
And
people,
take the
like Western
risk,
Union,
just
MoneyGram, like all those
financial
people,
risk,
they
and that
have
means
to
everybody
capitulate. They're gonna like,
it's
they're
important
gonna
that
be
they
out of
get it,
business. And so,
take that risk.
um,
So I'm telling you,
build up your own brand, talk about it, because you never know where that's going to lead you in the long run. And
I guess
take
that's my little
risks. That doesn't mean financial risk, but that
Love
means
it.
every
Love
risk in
it.
your life. If you can afford to
Yeah,
take
great
it,
to have you back,
just
man. I
take that
know
risk, because I'm
you've been
telling
gone
you,
for a little bit of a
so
while, and
far in my
you look
life,
forward
knock
to your
on
family,
wood,
which
it
again,
has paid off
100%
so
respect.
far. So
But
I guess that's
you were
my little
missed.
spiel.
It's great to have you back.
Hey,
You're
Love it.
that's
definitely
good to have
Love
you
it.
back, buddy.
for the
Yeah,
team,
it's
for the
great to have you
token,
back, man. I
for the
know
project, for the
you've been
company.
gone for a little bit of
As
while,
I
and
said, we at the
focused on
onset, we
family,
should
which
say
again,
project number
100%
one. Never go
respectable.
say
But
the whiskey's
you were
kicking in.
missed. It's great to have you back.
It's what is it? What are we? Half an hour in? Fuck.
Ambassador
I'm in for some
for the
time.
team, for the token, for the project, for the company. As we said, we at the onset we shouldn't say project anymore, and there I go saying it. The whiskey's kicking in already.
Already,
Appreciate
so
you.
boys, still
It's
hour
what is it?
one, pal.
Half an hour in. Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm in for some time.
So for those that don't know, Cody has just recently elected to the TAN Council for the Telcoin Association. So he's going to be obviously more heavily involved now, at least from a public forum, than probably ever. I mean, he did a lot of sleuthing way back in the day. I mean, quite the following with the discoveries that he was making. This is well before any transparency. Like this was back when we were digging deep, or at least people were like Cody that just trying to unearth what the hell they were doing. Now with the association and the pressures that banks
Like,
and
come on, man. Like, we're trying to work in the
politicians
background. We're trying to be
and
like
community and
ninjas, like
everything else
stealth, and like,
has. They're
who's
more
this Cody
transparent
guy? Like,
now
bringing all this
than
shit to
ever.
the
So
forefront.
I
it's
don't
been
guarantee at the onset when Cody was doing all this digging, he was like, "Who the fuck is this Cody
I
guy?"
know.
Like, come on, man. Like, we're trying to work in the background. We're trying to be like ninjas, like stealth, and like, who is this Cody
Yeah.
guy?
I swear,
Bringing all
man.
this shit
Like,
to the forefront.
there was some things to where I was like, I don't think I can post this, like, because I feel like, the team hasn't posted it yet. I was like, so I didn't want to like jump the gun on it, but it was like, dude, I was in it deep, man. I was checking back in 2017, 2019, from that time frame. Dude, I was checking charts twice a day, praying like if this goes here, then I can make this. It'll drive you crazy, and that's the reason why you do have to take a step back, man. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun though, man. Like doing all that research, like I was literally working a full-time job, and this is kind of funny, but I was working in, I think I was still in the military, getting out of the military, and then going into government contracting. And so as I was sitting there waiting for any calls that I had to do, that's all I did. I put those PowerPoints together on, computers and, skiffs and shit, and just,
So
yeah, man.
you research Telcoin on taxpayer money while you were in the military.
Pretty much, guys.
Yeah.
I put it to good use. I put it back in.
I know you have, absolutely. Yeah, I mean there was a time Cody and I were going to Bitcoin conferences down in Miami, and that one night that we ended up staying out pretty late. Cody, how many people? I mean, we've been preaching the Telcoin gospel for years, right? I mean, how many people just that night when
Man.
we were at the hookah bar, we got
Oh,
signed
dude.
up to buy Telcoin, right? I mean,
I
we've
think that was
been.
probably like the drunkest I've ever been in my life. Like, and we sat there from I think like 6 p.m. all the way till like 4 a.m. and we just kept ordering hookah. Like the next day, I literally couldn't talk. I don't know if you remember that,
Yeah.
Steve, but I was like,
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was a
Miami.
quiet ride home, right?
There's actually like ongoing like inside joke with my family, like Miami Cody, because like whenever I came back home, I was like a different person.
Yeah, there were some rough nights, but fun nonetheless. And like I said, I bet we had a half a dozen people buying the Telcoin. That in that time span,
They
because
just kept
we were preaching it
gravitating,
so
man.
hard.
People just kept coming
Yeah,
up. It was honestly wild. I don't know what was in the drinks that night, but everyone was
yeah,
talking.
yeah. We never moved, did we? We just sat there, and then like
Really
people rotate in and out, like new crowds, and we
referral.
just start. Hey, I know you're here for Bitcoin. You want to do the Telcoin? And we go into the spiel, and they're like, "Hey, where can I buy it at?" And they fucking buy it. So it was wild. It was wild.
And
Great
that's
times.
the origin story of when Steve started shilling his referral code.
No, not yet. That was later on. But you know whose referral code I used when I signed up
Is
for
it
the app?
me?
Cody's. Yep.
Cody's.
Yeah.
I only put out
Yeah.
one post ever about it, and I think I got like 26 or something. But I will say,
Well, yeah.
someone had said it the other day how much they had made from it, and I think
You
when
son of a
I
bitch.
looked the other day from referrals, if you're calculating the price now, it was like $800. So it
Oh yeah.
pays the
Yeah.
referrals. Just yeah.
No, I'll
Yeah,
be
there's
transparent. I just broke
two that are
over 2
doing.
million Telcoin, so
You
it's
son of a bitch.
yeah, it's like
Hell
2.1
yeah.
million in rewards right now. And I know like Cribs is killing it, right? I mean, he was over 6 million. This was a few months
There's
ago.
a few that are doing pretty well with it, right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
so
he talks a
I
lot
don't.
about Telcoin. He really does.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a
I just hit 1 million, so yeah,
nice.
it pays off.
Congrats. Yeah, it
Yeah,
does, man.
it
I
really does.
I know
Oh
some
yeah.
people are against shilling their referral codes, but man, you know what? I ain't proud. Like and we put the work in. We do these chats, and we do sleuthing, and we fudge
I
bust
feel
and
like
all
you owe
that
me a
shit.
little bit.
I deserve those referrals. That's what I say.
Oh yeah, just like when it's my idea to put it on Restream and then you put your code on there.
Listen, Andrew. It was a great idea. It was a great idea. It's just you had the wrong code. I put my own on.
Well,
I feel like you owe me a little bit.
to be honest, I only have 13 people, but I have a buddy he got into XRP at like, I don't know,
At the end of the
like 10
day,
cents or
with
something,
the
or less. So he made a bunch of money.
with the referral program,
For
it's
the tell,
quality
so
over
I was like, I'll
quantity at the end of
split
the day.
the referral with you, and I basically like 90%. Like it's not all mine.
At the end of the day,
that's the thing.
with the referral program, it's quality over quantity at the end of the day. But yeah.
But we're still so fucking early. Like, there's a lot of people out there who are just like, it's too late, it's too late, it's too late. But like,
it's not.
We haven't even started
yet.
We're
still so early. Like, somebody show me a billboard with their QR code on it, because like, you get creative, like, because you guys could really make a killing out here. You know, these are just the early stages. I mean, people are kind of like pushing this referral code, to the side of the street, like as if it's like too late already. But it's like,
I picked up four in the last 2 weeks, Liberty. I picked up 4 new referrals.
I picked up 2 this week.
Yeah.
The thing is, once more people start,
I was just gonna say, I think we've had Joe and Douglas.
The network is done.
Everybody's kind of come up. So Joe, let's start with you, because I think you were first.
There's never a bad time to start.
So Nick, Blue Lights, I know we asked.
That's a good point.
I was just going to say
whenever you want, but Joe, let's give you the floor, buddy.
I know you guys kind of asked.
Oh yeah.
So Joe, let's start with you. You're good. You were first. Everybody else, I think we kind of asked to come up. So Nick, Blue Lights, I know we asked you to come up, but yeah, feel free to chime in whenever you want. But Joe, let's give you the floor, buddy.
Hey,
yep, you're good.
Gotcha.
Hey, I just had a couple things to say. How about Caitlin Long getting her panties in a twist about us and her going on the offensive in the back?
Hold on. I gotta find my meme I made.
Well, no,
there's very rare moments when you're going like at your desktop or on your phone, you actually literally laugh out loud.
Doc, that we're kind of getting ready for today. And
you're going to tell on me.
Just put the
You're
point
going to tell on me.
Governor,
go ahead.
Versus governor fighting. And then it was like,
there's very rare moments when you're kind of like desktop or on your phone, you actually literally laugh out loud. Just was one of those moments. Like he literally just put the point where it's like governor versus governor fighting, and then it was like dash. Fuck Caitlin Long.
Yeah, no disrespect to Wyoming and everything that they've done, but again, it was a different charter.
I don't listen.
They were more focused on
whatever they've done a lot of work to build what they've built. But it's not the same.
Wyoming and everything else.
Right.
But again, it's a different charter. It's a different thing. Again,
and the difference is, and
custodying the assets, whereas Telfam went the longer route, did it a little bit differently, and not only are they able to custody, but they're able to mint and burn and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and the fact is, like BZ was a little nicer than I was. He at least had said, "Hey, listen, I respect what Wyoming has done."
Dude, I have to be nice though. You're out of the council. You don't have to be nice.
I know. I took a step back. I'll shit post all day long. I don't give a damn.
Hold on, did you see the meme I made? Hold on, I'm gonna post it because
she's got an unfortunate surname. Well, I think. Oh, go ahead, Blue Lights. Sorry.
I was just saying she's got an unfortunate surname.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Well,
what was
I was just gonna say, like
there it is.
Her going on the counteroffensive just legitimizes us even more.
Correct.
By her trying to discredit like what they've done. It just makes me feel even better about what's going on. And I gotta say, I got some sad news. When the bank announcement came out with the Telcoin announcement, the boner pants just blew right off. And
Joe love it. Joe's been a long time.
I'm kind of. I gotta use some money to buy some of those through Telcoin, I guess.
That's a reference from an old space, but yeah.
It's an inside joke from
love it. Joe's been a long time listener,
so anybody that's new here, that's a long running joke. It's no weird talk or anything. It's there's some meaning behind it.
Yeah, it's an inside joke from a couple years ago. Yeah.
I thought I got away with that. I never talked about that.
All right, guys. Have a good night. I gotta get going, but I'm gonna keep listening.
All right, thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
Okay, what are we talking about? Governors.
The boner pants.
I
thought I got away with that. We never talked about that. Okay, what are we talking about? Governors.
Did BZ get to post his meme in the chat? Let me see. it up there?
Yep, I can see it now.
Yes, it is. It's the
That's
Drake
that's
one.
very flattering.
Nicely done, BZ.
I thought it was good. You know,
Yeah, it is a good one.
it got
So I
like
put it-
200 likes on that post.
I moved it down on the screen so everybody on the stream can see it as
Yeah,
well.
I
So
can
it's
see
getting some eyes on it.
And that's a
Nice.
very flattering picture of Caitlin Long too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it because she had the shirt on.
It looks like she
Is
has.
Charlie in here?
I think she has an Adam's apple. I don't know.
Is Charlie in here? Charlie from the.
I don't know where Charlie is. I don't see Charlie.
I don't know, but
He had a great response. I don't know if anybody saw it, but he did a hashtag Caitlin wrong instead of Caitlin.
Oh, that was good.
It was so good.
I called Custodian the team.
Yeah. And listen
And
again, because this
and
is out in the world, we should all agree that they made groundbreaking moves. You know, they've done things that nobody else has up to that point, right? So we should give them and offer them the respect that they deserve for what they did build. But it's a new day and a new dawn and new technology. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I like the other one. Someone put like, who's your daddy? DADI.
Oh, that was pretty good.
That's
good.
Digital
I know Matthew just came up, so Matthew, I don't know if you had a question. Otherwise, we can. Who's your daddy?
Probably should have said that first.
So where are we at on our
I don't
notes,
know.
Andrew? We
got
kind of went askew.
Not surprising. I know Matthew just came up, so Matthew, I don't know if you had a question. Otherwise, we can continue along.
Oh, happy belated, my friend. Happy belated again. Yeah, it's good to see that you went around the sun another time.
Oh my, yeah. I feel it, but you know what? I'm pumped. I'm excited to be here. And when they launched this bank, and I saw Caitlin Long post that, I was like, shot across the bow. Like that means we did it right, and they're talking
saying,
about
man,
us.
like,
think
this
about
is,
that.
this is
The
just the
biggest
beginning,
players
right?
in this
Like we're
field are
starting to
talking
get
about
a little
Telcoin.
bit more attention.
It's going to be a
outside
whole
of,
different
the
deal
Telfam
as this
community,
rolls
the
out,
crypto
and,
community. Like
I'm excited,
we're starting
man.
to get
I'm
a lot
just
more news articles
super
from
pumped.
Like we
So
keep saying, man, like
institutions,
this is
which
just the
is
beginning,
great
right?
to
Like we're
see,
starting
and like
to
that's
get
where
a little
we
bit
start
more
to
attention
really
outside
pick
of
things up is
you know,
when
the
Telfam
Telfam community, the
broad
crypto
stream kind of
community.
takes
Like we're starting to get a lot more news articles from more institutions, which is great to see. And like that's where we start to really kind of pick things up is when a little bit more of the broad stream kind of takes it and runs with it.
Yeah,
right.
J.R. Rolls reminded us what Liberty Lad said in the rebuttal post. Custodia had to show people how not to do. That was Liberty.
Yeah, I was just saying
They jumped on a grenade for us. I mean,
I get it. Yeah.
All Liberty said, we learned from their mistakes. So
chirping.
3 times. How many times they get denied? Liberty?
There's the
Was it
third.
3?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the third.
Yeah.
On the back of the post too, which was just hilarious. I'm like, okay, you just got rejected, and you're like trying to throw shade on Telcoin. Come on, this is ridiculous.
I know.
She never once congratulated Telcoin or Nebraska or anything like that. She was just like, "Oh, thanks for setting the record straight that Wyoming was."
Well, let's get to.
Yeah, the governor did. The governor said, "While I appreciate what Nebraska did, I mean it's groundbreaking, but he was tit for tatting too, saying like, oh, Wyoming was first, but we all know the difference. But I mean,
anytime you take the X to like complain about something like that, you've hit a nerve.
I mean, just think about this, guys. We're sitting here as a community, talking about all this stuff. We had 2 state governors bickering over whose technology is first, right? I mean, that is a wild thing to say when we're talking about crypto.
Where do you see that in crypto?
Right, that's my point, right? I mean, they've fist fought their way through this legislation. And,
I have an idea.
At the
Why don't
level
we? Isn't there supposed to be
and,
like a UFC
and everything else? I mean, it's
on,
wild to see that all these players are now recognizing what they're doing, and now
get
they're
them
bickering
going.
over,
Let's start
oh,
it.
well,
Let's
maybe
start
my
the
tech's
buzz.
better.
Let's
We
get
don't
the
do
governors in the
redo in this
octagon.
I have
Let's
an
go.
idea. Why don't we? Isn't there supposed to be like a UFC fight on like the White House, like
on the
in the
lawn.
Yeah, on the lawn. Let's get them going. Let's
Is that a
start it.
thing?
Let's start the buzz. Let's
Oh
get
my
the
God.
governors in the octagon. Let's go.
Get two governors duking it out in the octagon. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Sponsored by
That's
Telfam.
They're
American
becoming
fun. That's
DJs.
good old American fun right there.
Get the fireworks going.
The underwear. All underwear, yeah.
There we go.
I bet we can Bush
McGregor.
Light sponsor it.
Yeah.
McGregor
Sponsored
calling
by
the fight.
Telcoin. Sponsored
Yeah,
by Telcoin.
We could get those Paul shorts out and have the fighter in them.
Oh my!
The underwear.
Oh, hey,
Paul
by the
underwear.
way, Danny got the flag back finally.
Oh,
No
did he?
shit,
Nice,
really?
nice.
Oh yeah, that thing's
Yes,
been gone
he
for
got
a
it.
long time.
Well, so like, I guess I don't know where it was. He was messaging me because he's trying to get it to Patrick, and he said like it got sent. Yeah, I guess he got sent back like 3 times because of first the
Customs.
tariffs and then some other stuff.
US
But
Customs.
he has it back. He sent me a picture of it. So
No
yeah.
Nice.
Let's go.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So
That thing's
probably
gonna
for the new
float around
people,
for
you guys
days.
should explain the flag because a lot of people don't know the lore.
Essentially, what was
Yeah. So,
the
God, how
flag
old is
was,
that thing, Andrew?
somebody
I
would
want
have
to
it.
say
They'd
it
sign it,
started,
essentially.
and
they
like it didn't really
would
get like too
determine
popular
who they
probably
want to send
until
it to,
after
another
LB six
Telfam or
99. So I
whoever
got to
it was.
assume it was
And
probably
it would just
sometime
kind
in
of go around.
21. But
And,
essentially,
you
what
know, it would
was
go
going
from
on
one
was
to the
that
next,
the
and
flag
it would go
would
Canada, from the US,
somebody would
Europe,
have it, they'd sign
Africa,
it, essentially,
Asia,
and they would determine who they want to send it to,
yeah,
another Telfam or whoever it was, and it would just kind of go around, and you know it would go from one to the next, and it would go from Canada, from the US,
You
to
absolutely
Europe, to
did,
Africa,
because I
to
remember
Asia.
Right,
you were supposed to
it's a
and
big
kept asking,
Telcoin logo,
when are
right?
you
Like on the
sending
flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the word Telcoin. Yeah. It was cool, man. I got it when I had it in my possession. I had it for way too long. I just forgot to send it back
You
out. So
absolutely did, because I remember you were supposed to send it to me, and you kept asking me, like, when are you sending that thing?
I think he was
whatever,
traveling to
Andrew. Come on.
Mexico at the time.
Yeah. Well,
I think he put
probably.
his,
No, that was before retirement.
nah. Steve
No,
put his
so
referral code on it. That's what he did.
I should have. I should have stitched my QR code in there. But no, I got to take it from the coast of Florida to the coast of California because I was
You
traveling
sent it
for
to me.
work. So I took pictures.
Yeah,
I got
actually,
pictures
I'm looking right
from
now, and I
coast to
see
coast.
my buddy here,
I
YJ.
took it with me
He
on the
ended up
trip, so
meeting
that
me
was
in
pretty
downtown
cool.
Toronto.
So when I signed it, that's what I wrote on
Took some
there, coast to
pictures by
coast,
the
and
tower
then I
in
think I
Toronto.
sent it to
You sent it to me?
Rogers Stadium.
you.
Hockey
Yeah,
Hall of
that's right.
Fame.
Yeah. Actually, I'm looking right now, and I see my
A
buddy
good little
here, YJ.
afternoon, kind of
He
downtown
ended up meeting
Toronto.
me in downtown Toronto. We went out for lunch.
No. You know what
Oh,
happened?
nice.
Pictures
Liberty.
by
Liberty.
the
You sent
CN
it to me,
Tower in
and then Steve,
Toronto.
I sent it to you.
Went
That's
to
what
the
it was.
Rogers Stadium, Hockey Hall of Fame, all this kind of stuff too. Went out for
Cody.
lunch, had a
You
good,
sent it to Cody.
good little afternoon
Yeah.
downtown
Sweet.
Toronto. Or no. You know what happened? Liberty. You sent it to me, and then Steve, I sent it to you. That's what it was.
That's what and I thought I sent it to Cody.
Cody,
you
I
probably
think you
sent it
sent
to
it to
me.
Cody.
Yeah, I think I sent it to Cody.
I
Yeah.
signed it in like June, like May, June of
Don't talk
last
about
year,
it.
I think it
Okay,
was.
sorry. I mean,
For the karate combat stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, Nick Carter.
Oh man.
Andrew, we said not to bring that up. No.
Don't talk about it. Okay, sorry.
Honestly,
I mean,
it was fun. It
was
really cool.
fun. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
I got to meet a bunch of people. And, I still
Maybe not
went
the
back
full
and watched the video. But
Yeah.
6 weeks compared to 6 months of
Do it.
training,
Yeah.
I'll take that any day.
you held your own.
Heck
You're
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
It was weird though. We'll talk about it in another stream, but it was pretty strange.
Maybe not the
Right
forum
on.
for it.
Exactly. But if you guys need me to
Yeah.
message Caitlin, I'll send her a DM.
Do
Yeah,
it.
right on. Yeah. Oh, congratulations on your new role, Cody. By the way, that's a good one.
Yes,
It's a good
sir.
fit for you, man.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
dude, we've been just moving. Honestly, man, I've been working like fucking 12-hour days. Like it's crazy, but
Yeah.
a lot of cool things behind the scenes and more like educational
All right,
stuff.
we
So
got off the rails
just
a
like
little bit.
how
Let's
you
try
guys
to
are still
get back to center
talking
here a
about
little.
Telpoint, educating
Should we keep
whether it
talking
be
about the
just
bank?
Tel or anything in general. We're pushing for that big. So
Yeah, right on. All right.
Right. We got off the rails.
But maybe we got those notes on kind of like what to look forward.
Should we keep talking about the bank
now? Maybe let's just go through those quick, and then we can move on to
yeah. I mean, we got so much: the
questions about the
elections,
bank.
uphold listings, the council activities.
But yeah, we were looking at it and kind of
we got those notes on kind of like what to look forward
banking infrastructure
moving forward now. Maybe let's just go through those quick, and then we can move on to a different
enables
subject unless
the
people
internet
have
of
questions about the bank. But
which we know Paul has been
jump in,
using.
man.
So yeah, we were looking at it and kind of why this matters. So
These panels and everything that he's going and talking about, right?
Cryptocurrency operations.
So it's really going to be
enables
like
the Internet of Money, which we know Paul has been using, pretty explicit views and stuff like that. And when he's going on these panels and everything that he's going and talking about, right? So it's really going to be like that bridge between, Steve, you alluded to it earlier, but like that bridge between, TradFi and DeFi kind of thing, where everything is coming a little bit more on chain.
And I think the reason
obviously Telfam getting the approval, they're going to be the first ones to, in a regulated manner, issue a stable coin, essentially, which Paul likes to refer to as digital cash. And I think the reason why he likes referring to as digital cash is it's going to be because it's going to essentially operate in the same manner of the way that we operate now, where you're using your mobile phone and you're making payments or transferring money, right? You're not actually doing it with physical, fiat currency anymore. Like a lot of the transactions and all that kind of stuff is happening kind of on the internet, behind the scenes, through intermediaries and all that kind of stuff. Where now with the banking infrastructure that they're going to be putting forward, it's going to have almost
a lot of things to look forward there.
There's going to be no middlemen. They're going to be cutting out a lot of the fees.
They've got stuff too. Operational stuff like they're going to be
so that's like a huge benefit for the bank in general going forward, right? So a lot of things to look forward there.
Instead of
they've got operational stuff, like they're going to be able to provide financial services. Like I think down the road we'll start to see loans and all that kind of stuff,
right? Like I know we talked through
instead of these banks and these middlemen kind of taking the lion's share of all these fees and all that kind of stuff. Instead of them taking those funds, it's going to be the individual user, which is huge, right? Like I know we've talked through these spaces a lot of the time about
now you have a little
financial
custody,
independence and taking your current situation into your own hands. Whereas before it was always like, oh yeah, I've got a financial advisor, it goes through the bank and whatnot. But now you have a little bit more, custody and opinion and say of what your money is doing for you, and you can put it to work in the ways that you see fit, which I think is a big difference from the old world versus the new world. Right? So you've got those options where you might be able to put a certain amount of TEL up for a loan, and you can put it at and say, hey, the interest rate is going to be this, right? And anybody that wants to borrow against, then you can, and you can benefit from that.
You have a lot more.
Again, we could also talk about the TELX and all that kind of stuff, where you're providing liquidity, earning fees, earning rewards, all that kind of stuff too. But I think the overarching point that I want to make is that you have a lot more authority on what your money does for you, right? And you can pick and choose what you want to do. So that's, to me, like that's the big thing. It's the bank almost, for the people kind of thing, as opposed to, somebody else. But
I agree, Andrew. Like some of the services, like if they do a full financial stack and we're able to offer, liquidity or collateral or whatever we need, and we're able to then turn our current crypto assets into maybe a little less volatile risk. Say we get a run and we sell to the top, and we want to take some of that profitability and move it to a less riskier opportunity, but still within the Telcoin ecosystem, right? That's what I'm truly looking forward to, is to see what financial stack that entire financial stack holds, and what opportunities it has for people to participate in outside of the telex and the stake and
Yeah, and
refer and some
then
of the offerings that they have now.
Yeah, and
More
even
maybe that TradFi
help with
bridging into some of those the
services
loan
that
collateral and stuff like that, like I mentioned.
local,
yeah, and
kind of
then
state
even
banks,
on
right?
top of that,
Like,
like you've got like
I
these
think we'd be
on-off
naive to
ramps
say that,
that
like,
they can
JP
help
Morgan is
with
going to
kind of white
Telfam
glove
network. They probably want more control and
services that they
want
can
everybody
provide to
to get
these
the resources,
local
their own
kind
thing.
of state
You can
banks,
do
right?
that, all that kind of
Like
stuff. But
I think we'd be
like
naive
I
to say
think
that like we think
Telfam's
like
goal
JP
is
Morgan
to
is going to
focus
jump onto
on
the
those
Telfam
community
network.
banks,
They
state
probably
level
want
banks
more control
where
and whatnot. They might have the
3,000
resources to
or
build out
more
their own thing, and like it's going
within
to
the
take time for
U.S.
them to do
Again,
that
that's
and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But
that's
right, like I think Telcoin's goal is to focus on those community banks, those state level banks, where I think there's what is it, 3,000 or more within the U.S. And again, that's just the
they'll
U.S.
take care of the
right?
Yeah, they
regulatory
don't
stuff.
have the technology or the
Or like
resources or
essentially what's going to happen is
the
they're going
brain
to plug
power
into
to build this stuff
the
out. So
telephone
why
network
not,
and open like a
attach
whole
yourself
new
to
revenue
an
bank.
ecosystem that already has that technology and
Well,
it's
and
established and
they'll take care of
regulated?
the regulatory stuff. They'll take care of everything
Correct,
else
right?
for you. Like
Yeah, well,
essentially,
of
what's
course,
going
they're
to
going to
happen
take a
is they're going
percentage
to
of
plug into
the services
the
that
Telcoin network, and it's going to open
and
like a
again,
whole new
that's
revenue stream for the bank
business
and all that kind
and
of stuff too,
customer,
right?
right?
And Telcoin, right? Let's be honest. Like it's going to
500.
be a revenue stream from them too.
Yeah, well, of course,
Um,
they're going to take a percentage off the top for sure for the
yeah,
services
no,
that they're providing. And again, that's the whole project versus business kind of thing that we're talking about. Right? Like,
correct.
to me, this is a future Fortune 500 company that we're talking about right now, right? So, yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
I would say like kind of like what you guys are saying. Basically, it's like it's become kind of like almost like hard to even state it. Is that everywhere you look with Telcoin, it's I've been saying this in my posts, is that it's just bigger than you think,
Yeah.
because they've kind of spread these tentacles out across so much. I mean, when you think about one, digital assets, but now you're merging with banking and you're merging with the spread of telecom and all kinds of like all of that's one thing, but then you start talking about the liquidity pools and stuff, and you have a global like rollout suite of digital cash that you can provide liquidity to, like yield and get yield off of. There's
Mm-hmm.
so much going on. It's so massive. I mean, when you're like when the yield when you look at the yield charts Andrew throws out, these things are ridiculous compared to what is normal in in the markets, in equity
Yeah.
markets and stuff.
And
And
Matthew, the segue a little bit, but still within what you're talking about is, and I think it just came up on X through just chatting back and forth with some of the community members, but I still don't think people grasp how big the GSMA portion of this ecosystem is going to be once the network is live, right? I mean, I
we're
just
talking
don't
about
think that
multiple
people
hundreds
understand
of
how
millions
many
of users
people
potentially getting
that
access to the
that
rails and all that.
association
Like
brings
that's not just
to
Telfam
market
network. Is
or
like
to
it
basically
is the
delivering to
IR,
Telcoin, right?
we're
ramps,
talking about
all that.
Um,
multiple
yeah,
hundreds
The
of
bank,
millions of
it's the
users
DeFi
right.
service,
potentially
it's the
getting
yeah. What
network,
was
access to the rails
everything
and all
all in
that
one.
kind of stuff, right? Like, and that's not just like the Telcoin network and the DeFi services. That's remittances. It's on and off ramps. It's all that kind of stuff, right? Like, it's the bank, it's the DeFi service, it's the network. It's everything all in
and I,
one.
They can establish foreign exchange. I mean, they can do their own forex, right? I mean, they can. I mean, the opportunities to impact all of our traditional markets, bringing them on chain is all right there. It's all right there. All right,
the
buddy. See you
pain
later,
we
Cody.
the pain we experience to be patient, but then you kind of contrast that against Paul literally saying a 3 billion addressable market.
Yeah.
Maybe not that we're getting 3 billion people, but like we're they can log in and get access to Telcoin and the app and the banking
Well, and the
services.
beauty is that like if the telecom or MNO signs up to participate into the network, their users may not even know that they're interacting with the chain itself, right? They're just doing the services rendered that the telecom or MNO offer their own customers, and behind the scenes, all that stuff's happening. So I mean, it's a wild. It's almost experimental, right? I mean, it's definitely novel, and I'm just so excited to see what those next steps are on that side. But it doesn't get
You just
enough
go to the
attention, I
website
think.
and see how many
Yeah,
different hash tokens we actually
I
already
was going to say,
have.
not forgetting the ESDR token as well. The special drawing rights, which is and also super interesting.
I know.
You just go to the website and see how many different digital cash tokens we actually already have, kind of ready to go. Like I think there's
Could somebody
like Nick, if you want to go ahead.
Or Nick or somebody explain what the uniqueness of. I don't think everybody really grasp what the unique point of a special drawing rights token is. I think that'd be good to highlight.
No, it's probably me.
Like Nick, if you want to go ahead.
Hey, Derek, try unplugging your microphone and plugging it back in. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like yours is.
No, it's probably me. Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, just so I make sure I get it right. I don't want to
was on the spot, you fucker.
give the wrong.
Now do I? That's why I passed it off to you.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm
not stepping in. Like,
it's fine. It's like 2:00 in the morning here, and it's like one of those questions that is a difficult one for 2 a.m.
The important thing to start out is just that in relation to the SDR and all that, is that the app is not everything that Telcoin is doing. You have to understand that this is all infrastructure. The app is built on top of that infrastructure, and they have outlined that they're going to be able to provide white label services to banks and partnerships with like the game company and the Power Hive and any other businesses that want to interact on a digital cash type basis. It's going to be huge once everything is up and running. So,
agreed.
Yeah, we lost you a little bit.
Better or no?
I think essentially at the end of the day, it's a basket of currencies
a little bit. So like it's SDRs are kind of like a hybrid. So, you can.
No, it was better, BZ.
Yeah, we lost you a little bit.
Oh man. Okay.
I think essentially
I've
at
got
the
it.
end of the
I've got
day,
it.
it's a basket of currencies that is interoperable in.
Well, it's probably smarter than us. Probably. Yeah, go ahead.
Right, and I think that's probably part of what helps. Right, you've got.
Do you want me to read off what ChatGPT is saying on it?
Well, it's
I think Blue Light's got.
I've got it.
Probably.
Yeah, Blue Lights has got it up. Yeah, what you got, Blue Lights?
Yeah, so the purpose and the concept, the main goal of an ESDR is to facilitate faster, cheaper, and more transparent cross-border transactions than traditional banking methods. And the sort of three main things is stable value. Its value is pegged to the SDR, a composite unit of account derived from a basket of 5 major world currencies. But in this case, we're talking about different, digital cash tokens. US dollar, the euro, Chinese, Japanese yen, and the British pound sterling. This is just a general what the ESDR is. And then the mechanism is the ESDR would function as an intermediate digital asset representing a claim on these underlying currencies and designed to be interoperable across various payment systems. And then issuance, it could be issued by the private sector for faster implementation or potentially by central banks as a form of universal central bank digital currency or interbank use. So in essence, like it's, I remember Paul talking about it, how kind of important it was on like the likes of the Telcoin network, especially when different currencies are being sent from, I don't know, EU, EGBP sent to, Mexico, EMXN or something like that. In the middle of it all, the ESDR can handle the stability of the price change or something like that, I think it was.
I'm just going to add one sentence to this from what I'm getting. If issued under Telcoin's regulated banking framework, it positions Telcoin not just as a remittance platform, but as an infrastructure provider for multi-currency digital money, potentially giving them a first-mover edge in blockchain-based global finance rails.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's them. And Parker just I can't remember it word for word, but there was one meeting where Parker went into it and just gave a really good example of how it is with Telcoin and things like that.
And I'll just say this: I don't know that there's a connection, but the World Economic Forum works in special drawing rights valuations in the hundreds of billions of dollars between countries. So it's unique and it's pretty massive. So yeah, it's kind of cool that it's on the list.
I made a note here.
We were
to
once
do some
upon a
research.
time in discussions with Bill Gates.
A change in the exchange rate as it's going across, across the globe.
Yeah, and there's also I think because one of the goals of the Telcoin network is moving money fast but also cheap and not having such a change in the exchange rate as it's going across across the globe. So I think that's where it comes into play as well.
Well, we talk about remittances, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, like the average cost of like the fees for remittances is what, like 8 or 9%, something like that. Right, so like that going down to say even like 2% to me, like based on like the fact that we're on Polygon right now, and the cost of what it looks like gas is going to be like on the Telcoin network, like it seems like 2% is even like a high point. Like it's going to go down to fractions of a penny in order to move money, right? So instead of someone sending $100 back home and actually only receiving $92, let's call it, they're actually going to receive $100. Right? Like that is a big difference to those who are accepting those funds, right? Right, it's gonna, and again, like we talk about like the instant finality as opposed to the situation that you deal with now, where you kind of have to go to a physical, Western Union, and you got to, actually give them cash and facilitate the remittance, and it takes 5 days, and they're taking the this 8%, and you only get it a week later, right? Where now you can do it from your phone, you could do it for cheap, and you can do it fast.
Yeah, and let's not forget the safety factors of this, right? So imagine sending a remittance back to your home country, which potentially could be poverty stricken or crime ridden, and now your loved one has to go to a Western Union or a MoneyGram service center and come out of that building with a pocket full of cash that you just sent them. I mean, putting a target on their back in and of itself, just pedaling home to wherever they're going, watching people come out of a money issuance center. I can imagine, right? I mean, we take for granted the safeties that we're offered here in the States and other first world, highly developed countries, but the targeted countries to some of these digital assets, I mean, they certainly fit that bill, right? Where these are there is a safety factor involved as well.
Yeah, and plus the faster you can move money, the less exposed you are to fluctuations in exchange rates, right?
Exactly,
So if the Telcoin network's delivering instant finality across the globe from one digital cash token to another, then that's another reason why the fees can be much lower, because you're not affected so much by the exchange rate if it takes 5 days, for example,
Let's try this. Does this work?
I want to bring up the whole disaster relief fund that we brought up that Telcoin had visited earlier on in the project, and I can't help but think that maybe this had something to do with it. They're intertwined with that as well, because they definitely had this within their plans as well.
Yeah, God, I haven't even saw or thought about that. Yeah, I mean, I think we spoke about it, Liberty, in maybe a couple of spaces before, but the disaster relief. I mean, it's definitely part of the puzzle, right? That kind of gets lost in the shuffle with all this other stuff going on.
Yeah, for donors without access to crypto, Telcoin was planning on to provide easy ways to purchase Telcoin for disaster relief via credit card or bank transfer. Or I'm pretty sure at one point it was just airdrops. But yeah, they were. I know they were in ongoing discussions with mobile network operators and other mobile money providers for that. But also on another note, the stuff going on with Africa, I think, is the most under the radar things going on right now, because they've been talking about how they've been in contact with state governments for years now, but I think that
they're always 3 steps ahead of
how embedded they are in Africa right now is way under the radar, and
they were always 3 steps ahead. So
by design, they don't want this out.
Now that the bank's, public,
well, they're always 3 steps ahead of what we as speaking from the community kind of find out or get info on. They were always 3 steps ahead. So even now that the banks
But even now, like, there's still so much out there that just like, yeah, we're definitely working with state governments in Africa. Like, we are embedded in Africa right now. Like,
and banks as well.
This is my personal opinion, but I'm pretty sure that we are going to be pretty highly influential within Africa when it comes to Telcoin and Africa adopting cryptocurrency and getting onto the blockchain.
Yeah, and that's much easier. That's much easier than Western culture to change the to upgrade the banking facilities that we're used to in the Western world. It's far easier to bring in new technology into other parts of the world.
Leapfrog it, I think, is like the proper term.
Oh, yeah.
Like, right, because you have that ability to just kind of go from that brick and mortar to go from that infrastructure that you have with like the internet, where you can just put everything there, right? You're kind of leapfrogging any brick and mortar that you might have needed 20, 30 years ago, and now everything is essentially just coming on the internet, right? So it's a lot easier.
Yeah, and everyone's got a phone, right?
Yep.
It's kind of the whole purpose, and this is the same thing what you guys were saying about being 3 steps ahead, right? And what do we have? We have an entire global suite of mobile money operators that are already tied in and integrated with partnerships. So it's kind that's a big deal. It's like we kind of forget about it, but
GSMA, baby.
that is so critical. It's just so critical, and it's like, oh, it's like it seems like a kind of like a soft entry, but I think it was more strategic than anything.
Well, like we've talked about, like this has been a almost a decade long kind of company being built in the works, right? So it's taken its time, and there's been frustration. Like, Steve, we've done these spaces since what, like 2021 did we start doing this? 2022, and we actually got into like a cadence of like doing it every 2 weeks. And like sometimes we had nothing to talk about, and we'd still shoot the shit with the community for 2 hours. But it's been a journey, so to speak. But like we said, kind of at the onset of the space, right? Like from LB 649 back in May 2021 to where we are now, like it's a huge improvement. Like it's just the finally getting the fruition to where we are. It's huge, right? So, but I want to mention one thing before I bring up Crypto Neptune, because I know you wanted to touch base. Steve, I'm just looking at the restream, and like you're such a selfish guy where you're plugging your own sign up, stake, tell, and refer users. You're such a snake.
Oh, you reminded me of it, Andrew. I'm just doing what you told me I should be doing.
We got to work out like a contract where I get like at least 20%.
You want to cut?
You gotta pay for screen time.
I gotta. Well,
yeah,
listen,
right.
I told him.
I think you gotta pay and tell.
I told him this time, like we should go like back and forth on whose referral code goes on, and I told him this time it should be me, and he laughed at me.
Oh,
and told
sorry,
me
yours got deleted somehow. I don't know how, but yeah.
But like on that note, before you move on that note, like one other thing. First off, is my mic still messed up?
It's not too bad now.
It's not as bad.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I
Sounds
got
like you're in Africa.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Blame it on the whiskey now.
That's my problem.
The other thing people forget about, like, facts. The other thing people forget about, like, so I worked in hospitality for a long time and had a lot of experience with like credit card transactions, right? And with Freedom Pay and Chase specifically, and how batches worked and how you have to process your credit cards overnight at 3 a.m. and everything else like that, with a 3 to 4% fee on top of that, right? So straight up, you're paying thousands of dollars off your bottom line straight to these credit card expenses. And I think one part that I think gets overlooked with this whole technology is what it brings to small business, and being able to process transactions on a different network than necessarily that, because Freedom Pay and Chase and there's one other one that have kind of like they're kind of have a monopoly on it right now. And I think what people forget is what that brings, because a small business restaurants I know in my area, right, a lot of them are shutting down because they can't afford it. You cut off 1.52% off of those credit card fees that they're paying every month. That's pretty huge straight to the bottom line. I think that's a big thing that I don't think people are thinking about with blockchain,
But
and
not even
specifically
like Derek, not
Telcoin.
even like the the percentages and stuff like that. It's just the instant finality of the transaction,
Right.
right? Like
It's not pending.
that's
It's
the biggest thing. Like I look at my credit card
right.
statement all the time, and it's like, fuck, I got like 15 like pending, transactions. Like, Jesus Christ, how long does it take to fucking
Well,
figure this out?
let me give you let me give you a perfect example from an operator standpoint, right? I had a client that had an issue with their credit card system, and they went, I think it was 8 days where they weren't finalizing their credit cards through Freedom Pay, through the portal. It ended up costing them close to, I think it was 200,000 in 8
Damn.
days, and lost credit card, because those transactions were pending, right? They weren't sending every night at 3 a.m. like they were supposed to. They were pending. So you go back and try to recharge those, and those don't work. And that's one thing that like retail doesn't understand. Like when you charge a credit card, it does not process most of the time until that entity sends their credit card transactions over the network, usually around 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning. And what this does is it provides even more protection from fraud to restaurant, to small business. And I think that's a huge thing that's totally overlooked.
Yeah, and that's going to come, I think, with education, all that kind of stuff too, because it's probably going to be hard to, get those individual, single, independent operators to, get into this space. But to your point, Derek, like, getting them to understand that instant finality, lower, fee charges and all that kind of stuff, like, it just makes sense, right? It's just going to be the educational process in order to get them onto that system, so to speak, before they can actually understand and realize, the benefits of it.
Yeah, and a globally compatible network, so everyone's on the sort of same network. So you're not going to one system to another. You're just all the transactions are flowing globally through the Telcoin network. So instant finality, no issues with compatibility, and it's all just smooth and fast.
Yeah, no, love it. So, Crypto Neptune, what's going on, buddy? I love the videos you've been putting out recently. You're always, a big component and supporter of Telcoin. So glad to see you're in here tonight. So, what's going on, brother? I don't even know what to say when you do those, Steve. Jesus.
I'm applauding his efforts with his videos, sir.
All right, you're not making fun of me. Okay, good.
No, I'm not making fun of you.
Not
yet.
Not
Not yet.
yet.
We're only at what, an hour and a half in? Yeah, give it another hour.
Yeah. You're still on mute, Crypto Neptune, if you're trying to talk.
I'll jump in here just as a filler. Steve.
Yes, sir.
I DM'd you, buddy. You remember what I DM'd you about Paul?
When? Was it recent?
A few days ago,
Oh.
and we were kind of like laughing out loud, like cracking up because I did something crazy.
Let me
And
I don't have my Steve-O account up, so I can't
That's
reference it.
okay. I'll
Matthew, put
I'll
it this way:
recap.
Steve is
I
old and he doesn't remember shit.
I'm retired, sir, so I'm that old.
If you DM me like 2 days ago, I would remember it on the spot. Like, Steve, how old are you?
I have
Everybody's gotta like everybody's gotta go to Telcoin Paul and congratulate him on getting a blue check mark because I paid his premium.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Matt paid the premium for Paul to get the check mark. My apologies, Matthew. I should have remembered that one. Yeah, that was awesome.
I saw it like drop in like yesterday, last night, or today, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna save that for the meeting to bring it up. So I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
think
yes.
Patrick's in the same boat. I don't know if Patrick has a blue check mark on his account either. If you're feeling generous. No, I'm kidding.
I am feeling generous. I honestly was gonna bring it up. Like I want to talk about it, and I don't know how to do it, but I'd like to. I'd like to pay a premium for one of the Telfam members, and just part of our whole community surge, But I got to figure a way to like select somebody to like do that. So
Yeah, I'll
I'm
take
open
it.
to
Sure, no problem.
suggestions.
Matthew, you can take mine. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Matthew, you should make a post on X and just get the like, share, and yada yada in there, and do a random pick on them.
Hey,
That'd be awesome for
Matthew,
people.
Matthew, don't let Steve do it because Steve will put his
I'll put my QR
thing on
code
top
on
of
it.
your put your QR code. Don't let Steve touch it.
I look over and the QR code's still up. The guy's a shill.
Hey, listen, this you guys knock it, but this is what the program is meant to do. I'm supposed to do this.
Jealous that you don't have mine up. You're a jerk. Anyway,
That's
But
all right.
Let's just put a
funny
proposal together,
because
and we'll block it.
Paul is so humble of a guy, just grinding away and this guy does everything he says he's going to do, and honestly, it's just like what a leader we have for this community, for this company.
He's a beauty,
and I'm just thrilled to have him, on the team, and like, yeah, it was like an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Hey, can I maybe bring up maybe a proposal suggestion?
Sure.
We've talked about this before, but I think we were so busy we just hold off on it. And I don't have to be the one to bring it up and put it in a proposal, because I feel like as long as there's general consensus, this thing can get passed. Anybody can throw it in there for a proposal. But the thing that I don't like about the stake and refer is once you get to a certain point, what is it? 25 million. What is it?
In terms of the percentages that you get?
Yes.
Okay.
In terms of the percentage that you get, I'm trying to find it right now. What is it?
Isn't that like a pretty big gap between 5 and the next leg up?
It goes 5 to 25. Then after 25, I don't know if it goes from
big.
that to $1 million.
It's like
100 million, whatever.
It's like 25 to 100 million. You get your percentage bumped up. I feel like we should, like, anybody who's got just 25 million and anybody between 25 million and 100 million or whatever it is, they have no incentive to stake any more than 25 million until they have.
You bring up a really good point, right? Like if you look at the whole distribution, I put looking at distribution, like it probably.
No, we're losing you again, BZ.
Yeah, it's very hard to.
Yeah, Derek,
pretty
your mic sucks.
Yeah. Is that better or no?
It is, yes.
Okay, sorry. So if you look at the holder distribution, right? Like
Matt, if you're feeling generous, buy BZ a mic.
Oh, dude, no, it's okay. It's not that. I'm on my laptop. It's a whole thing. Yeah. Anyway, so if you look at the those levels probably made sense back when the coin was cheaper, right? But like if you look at the average entry price now and kind of how the distribution delta has changed, you've got a really good point. I agree with you. Like
we need to break it. We need to break down distribution for percentage.
Before you guys get too excited,
that
Liberty, I don't want to get. Sorry to cut you off, but I don't want to get too far into this. But I think everybody at this point knows that any proposal is not going to have anything to do with the app.
Yeah.
Remember,
that's the thing.
right?
It's
Like
holding.
the app is
was that the
specific
reason
to
why this
Telcoin
didn't go anywhere?
Holdings. So anything
Yeah.
that has,
Okay, you're right.
yeah,
This is
anything
why it didn't go
related
anywhere.
to the app is designated to the Telcoin Holdings team. We have zero authority over what they do,
Okay,
how
you're
they
right.
manipulate it, what they want to do, all that kind of stuff. If they want to adjust the levels and all that kind of stuff, we have zero say in that. Like that is
But we're in charge of
company.
distribution. We're in charge of distributions like 10IP1.
But yeah, but that's the reward system that has
Yeah,
nothing
that's a
to
budget.
do with like the stake and refer program. The stake and refer program is 100% in the purview of Telcoin Holdings. They are a developer on the app, whereas we don't have
That's why this
authority
didn't go
over
anywhere.
the developers. They can they have 100% authority on how they want to manage their own app and do all that kind of stuff. Yes, we do have authority on how the 10IP1 rewards get distributed. In terms of the developers that are on the network. But in terms of adjusting the amount of TEL and the percentage that is awarded to us in that stake and refer program, we just don't have a say in that.
See, this is why I didn't re-up on the association. We have way too many smarter people than me.
Don't sell yourself short, Liberty.
Don't make my head any bigger either.
But I got a point there
you've been a
somewhere.
huge...
The holdings needs to look at that because there's a flaw in it.
Well, Paul's
listen,
listening.
Liberty, you left me here, and you're smarter than me. So let's
well,
it's okay.
Okay, we've left Crypto Neptune on the hold.
I finally figured it out because I was trying to get my mic
there
on.
he is.
Oh, there he is. Yeah,
he's back, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, so I appreciate Telfam supporting the videos, and for me personally, it's just trying to continue to spread the message and have continued videos out there. So when there's a run up, people have information to go to. So I definitely appreciate each and every one of you watching the videos, sharing the videos. It definitely means a lot. But also, again, we're just helping spread the message. But my question
Hey
to you
Neptune,
guys,
make sure you drop a link to your YouTube page where you can find your videos here in the chat or pin it to.
We're all in this together, and the more that we can continue to push each other and lift each other up, the better off we're going to be.
Absolutely. And my question
outside of Steve, I don't really like Steve that much.
No, Steve is
he
cool.
loves me,
Steve is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Andrew's got some grudges against me, and it's okay. I'm okay with it. So.
Yep.
It's a good comment though. Like honestly, Crypto Neptune, great videos, and to Telfam, you know, we've had a good price pump. It feels good and everything, but this is going to be. There's still time. There's quite a bit of time to kind of push through this run, and just an encouragement to everybody: stay positive, stay posting. It's like it's not you, it's an algorithm, and that's the challenge, is to understand there's an algorithm to what gets picked up, why we're trending. And I was gonna post this, but I thought it was like weird. But like, okay, we know Elon Musk is like setting the algorithm here, right? And I was gonna post like no hate, procreate, because the dude's got like 10 babies with 10 people. But I didn't think I kind of typed it and deleted it because I'm like, that's weird.
Well,
But
wasn't the
I'm
latest kid
sorry,
called
but
X? Called the
Get
next
that
one
algo
Y, the
going,
next one
man. It
after
doesn't
that
matter.
Z,
Yeah.
or Z, whatever the hell you guys do in the US, whatever. But it works with the digital cash, with the EXYZ, whatever. It seems so weird saying that word, but anyways, whatever.
All right, the timeout. Neptune, you had a question.
So I got so the question I had was for the gaming company and Power Hive, how do you foresee that blending in? Do you foresee those launching potentially in 2026? Will it all kind of blend in with the MNOs and them launching together, or would it be kind of like an extra surprise if that happens?
So essentially, from their perspective, there are going to be developers on the network. I'm not sure at this point that they are GSMA members, so they won't be able to be validators on the network. I
Well,
know.
Andrew, remember we did pass
I was
the
just going to bring that up.
proposal.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do have a proposal through the TAN Council to provide some funds to help with GSMA application process. I know.
And they are in the process of doing that right now.
I think so too. Yeah, I know specifically with like the game company. I know they've been focused kind of on other things and kind of doing some fundraising and stuff like that. But again, like we don't have the network up and running, so I think from their perspective, they're kind of just in limbo, waiting until kind of things get going. I know we want to kind of get like almost like a sandbox kind of project kind of going so that we can kind of get them a little bit more involved. We can get a little bit more feedback from them as to what they need from us, what we need from them, kind of thing. But essentially, if they do not apply for GSMA memberships, they'll be developers on the network, and there are incentives for them to benefit from being developers on the network. I think bigger picture, if you can be a GSMA member and become a validator, there's more benefit to that. But that's going to be a decision that they need to make, right? But I would assume once the network is launched, we'll start to hear a little bit more from those type of companies. And keep in mind too that when the network goes live, and we need 10 validators essentially to validate the network before the TAO kind of gives over that authority. Those validators need to apply to the network and go through compliance council and get validated. And when they do that, they're going to need to post to the forum, on the Telcoin forum. So when we start seeing, applicants for validators coming in through the Telcoin forum, that I think is going to be like the announcement to the broader community that say, hey, we're interested, we want to be a validator, this, that, whatever. Whether or not it's actually going to be, hey, we're the game company, we're applying to be a validator, or it's going to be, hey, we're company one and we want to be a validator. I'm not sure how that all is going to work out, but obviously we know the game company and Power Hive have publicly announced that they want to be a part of the network.
Yeah, I'm almost thinking more or less they're going to be just developers and have their own app, but that's just me. But even better if they,
which is perfectly fine, right? Like, and if that's what they want to do and they want to just be a developer on the network, but keep in mind through TAN-IP1, right? Like, I think everybody, every one of us is essentially, a retail user, right? And we have 3.2 million TEL that essentially on a weekly basis is being distributed through TAN-IP1 from that kind of retail staker kind of perspective. But you also have
was being distributed.
It's on pause right now. Yes. Okay. Valid point, Steve. But from that perspective too, I don't know how many people are actually aware that there is another side of that coin where developers also get 3.2 million TEL per week based on their generation of fees and all that kind of stuff through the network, right?
Oh, okay.
So as a developer, you're going to benefit from TAN-IP1 and that 3.2 million. But if you take that step further and you go into that validator state, you also have the benefit of, validating the blocks that are going on the network. And if you can be one of the ones that validate that block, you're going to get that block reward, that block subsidy, right? So for, I don't know, I want to say it's like 10 or 15 grand that it costs to go through the GSMA membership and onboarding process. For that 15 grand, like, to me, if I was a business, I would prefer to kind of, get involved at that level and be a validator and a developer and benefit from both sides of the coin.
Well, Andrew, like too, with like what Steven you said, that first year, right? So.
Sorry, Derek, you're cutting in and out.
Oh man, I gotta get a new mic. I was saying for the first
pay for it, get it done.
Yeah, no. It's just yeah. I was saying for the first year, right? The with what you guys were talking about with the sponsorship, like that's a great incentive for somebody too, for a developer, right? And I think the 2 different rewards processes. That's the hard part also, is that like, yeah, GSMA certified. Yep. You get that block kickback, like you said, and then also through the staking program, right? Through, if you're a developer, both are unique and both are going to provide developers a way to earn passive income, which I think is really cool.
Well, the beauty of it too, if it's like a lot of like M&Os, like this is an entirely new revenue stream for them, right? And like you think about like the M&Os that are existing, Vodafone, Verizon, again in the US, Rogers, Telus, Bell in Canada. Again, I'm not too well versed in the rest of the world, but you've got all these kind of telecoms where it's almost saturated in the revenue that they can generate, right? If they can tap into almost like a financial stack that Telcoin Bank in association with the Telcoin network is going to provide, right? That's an additional revenue stream, right?
Yeah,
That
Andrew,
they've
we talked
never been
about
able
this.
to tap into, right?
Yeah, we talked about this before. Remember, like I'm old enough to remember when you got a cell phone, you actually had to pay for your data by the minute, right? You had to pay for
Oh, I thought
text.
you
You
were
had
going
to
to
pay.
say like you had to like turn
Oh
the
yeah,
dial to make a phone call.
Well, I'm old enough for
I
that
had
too.
one of
But
those.
yeah, nonetheless, but so imagine how these companies started with these revenue streams, right? They had all this the data, the minutes, the whatever the case is, and they had subscriptions
It's getting super
and now all
competitive, right?
well, yeah, because it's so competitive. So all of those revenue streams have been chewed into, and they're like
Because you
so.
have to.
Here's an example. So I had Verizon cell phone service here, and I've had them for years, right? They're the best for me when I was internationally traveling for work and all that stuff. So now that I'm retired, I'm not doing the travel anymore. I don't need the service that I had. Verizon offers a different service level, and I can't remember what it's called now. Oh, Visible
It's called
by
ordinary
Verizon.
discount.
Visible by Verizon is just a low cost cell phone service, which is perfectly fine for me. It cost me $39, right? So now even Verizon, who is the core company, is offering a sub or a lesser service because their revenue streams are all dried up, right? They're like, well, okay, well, maybe we have to throttle your service between 10 o'clock p.m. and 4 o'clock a.m. But that's how you're going to get your service for $39 a month, right? Even that, they're trying to reach out and find different revenue streams through offering different service levels, even with sub companies underneath their own umbrella. So I mean, it's highly competitive. There's not a much. I mean, they're still making money. Don't get me wrong. I mean, everybody has a cell phone in their pocket, and everybody's paying their bill every month to have that cell phone. So, but nonetheless, all those incentivizing adders, they don't have anymore. So here comes an offering from a company like Telcoin and says, "Hey, guess what? There's a revenue stream to be made. You can fight for rewards by you using the network." And it's got to be appealing to
Well, and
the C-suites in these companies.
the beauty of that system too is it's the proof of stake that you have. I think for me personally, like I would prefer the proof of work versus kind of the proof of stake. But in this kind of consensus model, you have a proof of stake consensus, sorry, where the more you stake, you have the higher percentage chance of validating that block, and like that's again competition, right? And what does that do? It's well, it pits one M&O versus the other versus the other versus the other. And it's like, okay, well, I need more TEL to stake, which essentially you would assume, takes that out of circulating supply, which again, demand is high, supply is low. What does that do to the token price?
Correct.
Again, no speculation, not financial advice. I'm just an
It
idiot
fucking
talking about
moons
stupid
it.
I
It
things.
think
moons it. That's what it does.
I think
I wanted.
I think there's also
Well,
an important point to make, that because you're mentioning how this is such a highly competitive space, when these companies, when Telcoin approaches these companies, it is imperative that we get it right the first time.
Yeah.
You have
And
to. You have to.
there's
Like
a lot of stress on
first
Grant
impressions mean so
and all of
much.
these guys going forward. Like we can't screw this thing up. So
which is
security,
why I think they've been so cautious about how like their approach, right? It's
100%.
It's meticulous, it's step by step, it's thought out. Like again, like we talk about this being a decade long kind of company, Fortune 500 company in the making, right? They've done it the right way. Has it been popular for the last decade? Probably not. Right? Has everybody been happy, with like the slow progress and maybe the limited communication from the team? Yeah, we've had our frustrations, but right, we've gone from a point where we were essentially a cryptocurrency token that launched in 2018 to a remittance service that started talking to state senators at the time, got a Financial Innovation Act approved at a state level in Nebraska in 2021, to Paul Nooner having conversations with, Washington, D.C. representatives and getting legislation passed at the, Senate level. And now we have a state chartered bank, right? Like it's again, like it's just like that
Well,
that process, right?
yeah, but Andrew, let's not dismiss the efforts that the holdings team is making in getting the word out to what they're offering as far as services to this industry, right? So we have notes
Oh, for sure.
about what their company presence has been. So MWC 25, Ricardo was there, right? Money 2020, Paul and Jeff posted on the X account. DAS London, Paul was in London. Then they went. Paul was also in Flyover FinTech with Nebraska.
There
Obviously,
was Ricardo recently too, right?
Kigali, yeah, in Africa,
Was
right?
that Kigali?
Africa.
Kigali, yeah.
No, it's yep.
And then finally CoinFest, CoinFest Asia. Jeff was there, right? So they're posting to
And Julian
and
was
allowing
just at
us.
one too.
That's right too. Julian was recently
We
at.
was at MWC 25 as well, wasn't he? He was with Ricardo.
Give me a second. No,
Yeah.
I pulled it up on one of my tabs.
No, he was just
But
in Africa by himself. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
was he?
Africa Stablecoin Summit in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Oh, right on. Okay. Yeah. So my point being is that, like, as much as we say they're moving into shadows, making sure that this is all dialed in and like spot on, they're getting the word out in person. They're going to where these companies operate and these companies, walk these types of events. I mean, they're going to where the people that they need to connect with are. And so that's great to see, and they're sharing that with the community. If we're paying attention, we can see that they're making those efforts in order to get the word out.
And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like Telcoin is on the same headlines as like these major corporations and companies around the world, like alongside Visa and
Yep.
major telecom corporations, and like we it may not seem like a lot to the community when they're holding a bag and Telcoin's down this week, but like I'm pretty sure Telcoin is making a name within the industry
Of
in their
course.
respective areas that we're targeting right now, because the headlines certainly seem to implicate that.
Yeah, Liberty.
Liberty
That's
too.
back to my monologue when we kind of first started, was like, yeah, the markets kind of suck right now, but I also know the company that I've put my faith behind is doing all these things regardless of what the token price is reflecting, right?
Right. Well,
Yeah,
and it goes back to like, what did Apple ever tell their community
right.
before the iPhone? Like they didn't
Probably
fucking,
nothing.
they didn't fucking tell
Yeah.
anybody shit.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what's funny is kind of going back to Crypto Neptune talking about these partnerships like with the game company. I mean, like talking about Apple, they charge like a 30% fee on top of all their apps that they process payments through for their services. And
Amazing.
that's what we're talking about, Web3 and everything coming alive. That's where the game company exists. They exist as a high speed web portal, which is going to create like a synergistic kind of like thing with the telecoms and deployment like globally, where it's all like payments infrastructure for that. So
I'm
imagine
I'm so
1,000
excited for that.
apps. Imagine 1,000 apps processing payments through
Right.
Telcoin and deploying globally everywhere. It's so big. Again, I say it's bigger than you think. The infrastructure that's being laid, it's so early. We're all so early, but
Yeah. I
And
mean,
Matthew, like
is it
what you're saying,
2020, is it 2027, 2028, 2030 when we actually see this full churn of product availability and not
Flywheel.
only to retail but to the flywheel, right? Out not only to retail but to all these targeted audiences, whether it's the devs or the GSMA members, or I guess that's one and the same, but just the telecoms or the devs building apps or the banking services, or it's just wild to wrap your head around. Now, here we are in 2025, and we've all been around for a very long time, or at least a lot of us, and to see the progress up to this point, and then just to think like, okay, what's the next 2 years bring, right? So that's why when I look at the market, I'm like, nah, it sucks, right? I'd love to be
the next
wildly
two
rich
years
right
bring
now.
adoption, baby. Let's
Right,
go.
yeah, that's
exactly.
exactly right. All these things that we're talking about today is being the groundwork, the railroad tracks being laid.
Wait,
It's
Steve,
just
if you
wild.
really think about it though, too, it's the biggest hurdle outside of Telcoin's control was the bank. Right?
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
done now. That's
Yeah.
done. Right?
Only
Like
and
it's
I would agree to that with only because of the regulatory environment that they're trying to operate and
right, right.
execute in, right? Dev work and bringing apps to your network and stuff like that. That's already been. I mean, that can be done, right? That's technology. That's available now. But for it to be all encompassing, to have all the services offered under one umbrella is just, again, that's why I think all of us here, whether we're, from 2017 or we're from 2025, are here, right? And listening and understanding what the next steps for Telecoin is. It's just a wild environment to watch and to be a
Well, and
part
then,
of.
like the thing we haven't even talked about too is like the network. You guys keep talking about like all this, activity transactions on the network.
Well,
Tell
none of it happens without the network, right? I mean,
No,
it
no, but
has
like
to.
what I was gonna say was that like the Tell token is the gas token,
Yeah.
right? And like that is
Boom.
needed in order to facilitate everything that happens on the network. And
I know.
through the burn and regenerate mechanism, like that's essentially what we're gonna have as our budgets moving forward, right?
I don't even respond to the posts that I see on X when they say, "Well, what's the purpose of your token? What's the purpose of the token?" I don't even fucking respond to that anymore, right? I mean,
It's
like,
yeah.
just stop. Like,
Well,
you,
like there
It's the
there's a
gas,
guy
it's the
there was a
medium of
guy on power
exchange, it's the
holders.
incentives, it's everything.
yeah.
There's a guy there's somebody in power holders earlier who's saying Telcoin can never decouple from Bitcoin. But I'm just thinking like to myself, I'm like, well, when you think about like how the Telcoin network works and the ecosystem that we self-sustain once we onboard these partners and we add more partners and more partners, and that flywheel takes full effect, ultimately it's inevitable that we decouple from Bitcoin because we're not dependent
It's
on
inevitable.
we're not
Correct.
dependent on a
Right.
Bitcoin's price. Like
Bitcoin's going to be
we are our
Bitcoin's
own
an asset
self-sustaining
again.
ecosystem.
Yeah, Bitcoin's an asset and Telcoin's a company. Of course, they're going to decouple it at some point, right? I mean, it's just,
But crypto
once
as
it
a whole
gets.
doesn't see this. Like
I know,
Telcoin
I
is
know.
an anomaly because
Well, it's because they've been under the radar and they've done that on
right.
purpose, I think, right? Like, so to speak, where they didn't want to show from the rooftops on every
And we
little thing
had
that
to
they've
because
done,
under the
right?
last administration, they were the bureaucratic, you know, like
Sleepy Joe?
we're
You mean
on
Sleepy
we're
Joe?
on people's asses, debanking people and cutting people off that were any way associated with crypto. Like it was insane how they just cut people off and choked them out under the last administration.
I mean, there's a few there that I didn't mind them choking out, but go on.
But that happened, and we had to operate
Yeah, no, I get it.
underneath the radar, and
Yep.
that's why the Telcoin did that and wasn't so out in the open, like, you know, showing their dick. Look at my dick. You know, I made my dick.
All right, who's on Border Patrol?
If there's one thing, that I can see, and again, back to when I was in my industry
You're
and
going to talk
working.
about Border, Steve. We got a real problem.
No, I'm not. I was just going to talk about the companies that I did business with in my career. These are very, very large organizations with mega money flowing through them. And one thing that I can say, from just experience with all the companies that I've ever kind of been around and did business with, and then just being involved with Telcoin, and watching them operate in the way that they do, frustratingly or not, right? It's either frustrating or not. I mean, silence is sometimes frustrating, but their timing, their timing is fucking impeccable. I've never seen a company that operates and lands the timing so well than I have watching them operate. Sometimes in the shadows, but then trickling this stuff out, and then boom, you get V3 in the app. It's like all these moments that we've all been part of, that's been around for a long time. Just their timing, through these governmental hurdles and regulatory walls that they had to run through. Their timing, and maybe it's luck, right? Maybe the current administration and everything, right. That's what I feel. I feel like it's not. I think it's strategic, but I mean, hey, listen,
I'm
everybody
just gonna
has some
say
lucky
it.
days, so
We've got a quant, we've got Parker, man, and
yeah.
Well, it's not
I
even.
remember the glint in his eye when he started talking about the system, and
Yeah.
it's like,
But like the fact that like
I know.
the fact that Paul had an in with Mike Flood, and then
I know.
he got us into
Where'd they go to
Nebraska.
college? Liberty? Where'd they go to college?
No, don't get him started. All I've been seeing from
Go
Liberty lately is fucking Notre Dame
Tigers!
this, Notre Dame that. Jesus Christ.
But
What
the
a
fact
already, dude. Make up your mind.
the fact that like we had that in there, and he's like, no, come. Paul was gonna go to Wyoming and fuck around there. He's like, no, come to Nebraska. We'll fucking cater
We'll find
to
a way.
you. We'll cater to your business plan, and they did. And then on top of that, Mike Flood moved to the Financial Services Committee in Congress, and then Paul was working on the Genius Act. Like not just the Financial Services Act or the Financial Innovation Act in Nebraska, but then Paul was working behind the scenes with the Genius Act too. Like,
Well, you talk about that, and then talk about
Paul's
Ricardo.
behind the fucking curtain over here.
No, but Liberty, you talk about that, but then look at what Ricardo did too with the white paper and
With the white paper for
GSMA.
GSMA, yeah. I mean,
dude, that's huge.
Right? Like
AMD.
there's fingerprints everywhere if you have the due diligence to do it. And we need Cody back to fucking do all this kind of stuff.
yeah, we need him
to
doing
dive deep, but
doing the
we've
red
got a lot of
string.
people, Big Donk, I know, has been doing a lot of stuff on the financial side.
Yeah.
Helping everybody out with that kind of stuff too. But like again, everything is public. If you just look in the right spaces, you can kind of see kind of what's going on, and you can kind of put the puzzle together.
Yeah.
And over the last, let's call it 4 years since LB 649, like those pieces have slowly been put together, and like now we're at a point where you could see the picture, you could see everything, and we're fucking finally there, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we should do some more digging in Africa, because I feel like
you're probably not wrong.
A lot going on there right now that we could figure out.
Well, somebody just said that. Somebody just said that Paul's been heavy involved in Africa for years, right?
Well, yeah. And the team has admittedly said that, like, they have come out and said we are working with state state actors, state literally
government sandbox projects.
Government,
The term.
Yeah. Like they are working with African governments, like state governments,
wild
behind the scenes, and everything right now is pointing towards okay, we have a very good foothold in Africa right now too.
Mm-hmm.
Which is huge.
I feel like what we saw with the final, all we have is a final approval on the bank. Like the bank's yet to launch, and we saw what happened. And think about that. We're first in the nation with a full digital asset charter, like everything that goes along with that. But also, we're the only company in the whole space that has a full suite of global, stable digital cash tokens.
Yeah.
Nobody else has that. You have USDC. They've got one. It's like the US dollar. Well, our quant and our team, realized way back that they want to transact in their own currency. They have an entire forex exchange system and
also tied
Telex
to
and
an
everything.
L1, right? Like completely tied to an L1 and a bank. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Tied to an on and off ramp. Tied to
You know what?
everything.
But also, Matthew, to the USDC argument, I mean, there's been questionable shit happening at that company. There's no regulation to that, right? I mean,
Exactly.
I mean, it's a private deal. Like, there's no.
All of those little triggers that you pair together, right? With them talking about white label solutions, global bank accounts, all this stuff. Think about it. Like the Forex exchange rate now is like 7.5 trillion a day.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's not, I'm not saying that we're taking that over, but we're moving in that direction of what the people can trade foreign exchange on Telex.
But even taking a percentage of that is huge, right?
Yeah,
To your point, Matthew.
0.1% of that.
Yep.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, Crypto Neptune. I saw you kind of unmute. So I don't know if you had something to say, but.
Oh yeah. So only other question I really had was, do you think we may need to change the EUSD logo because it's fairly similar to Cash App, and could we potentially run into just a little bit of an issue with that? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I mean, the Telcoin logo is pretty similar to Ticketmaster, right? So,
Yeah.
I don't know if.
Well, and we know that when Storm made their whole pitch, when they got on it, their whole pitch was about redesigning, redeveloping our whole entire shtick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still in play. I mean,
is it still in play?
So we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe
you're talking about like the logo.
Maybe there's a revamp later. We have no idea what's
the
going
logo
happen.
for EUSD.
Oh, I thought you meant like the logo.
Yeah,
I don't know about that. Yeah.
I mean, if they
I think everything's in play.
What's it similar to, Neptune? Just for reference.
It's fairly similar to Cash App.
I gotta go.
Cash App. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that side by side.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, it's fairly now.
all are.
Granted, I think it's like ours is kind of, what is it, a polygon type of. It's within a polygon type of symbol, but the color scheme is the same, and the Cash Apps, the Cash symbol is the same. So maybe if Paul decided to go to like a darker green, or something like that. I mean, they know more about that stuff than me. So obviously, I mean, my guess is that it's a non-issue to them, but I just noticed it and I was like, could be something down the road. But
so Cash App is a green circle with a white $sign, basically.
Right. Yeah. It's.
Yeah, we're an octagon. We're good.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's way different, pal. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, let it go, man.
I'm trying to even think what the even EUSD looks like as a, I can't even.
Yeah, it's basically Yeah, he's right. It's a stop sign with a dollar sign instead of a circle with a dollar sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know how obviously I'm not going to care. I mean, I think it's cool, but
Yeah.
you know how picky some of these big companies are, and
well, you also want to stand out too.
Yeah. But just that was just something that was top of mind.
Yeah, the dollar sign is on like a 30-degree slant for Telcoin, and the Cash App is straight up and down. So there's a huge difference there. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's got his protractor out.
22.2%. What are we doing? Calculus here?
Now we know how he measures where he puts his referral code.
That's also
right.
not even close to 30%. Like anything like 10%. Anyways, whatever.
Oh, gee, that's not in C. It's in F.
No, that's
okay?
just me always wanting to fight you on something.
Yeah, he's still bitter about my code being up.
Would you take it down already?
No. Why would I? Anyway, hey, so real quick,
I feel like we've only been talking about the bank.
I know.
We have like so much more stuff to talk about. I've been trying to look at our file that we have shared, and
yeah, but we
haven't
covered
even
a
talked
lot.
about Uphold yet.
We covered a lot. We covered some marketing and company presence with them being kind of, going out to these global stages and participating in these different events. We talked about the gold check marks both Telcoin and the Telcoin Association received recently. So again, if you guys are new here, please don't, just make sure that you're interacting with the appropriate channels for news or whatnot. With more attention, the equals more scam opportunities. So just be, diligent and cautious. But I do, Andrew, before we move on to anything on Uphold or listing exchanges, I do want to run through some community news. I always like to do this. But, there's a lot of people doing a lot of work, within the community, and I always want to give them props. He's not here, but Squirtel, he does a ton of work on the listings, such as Uphold, that just came out. He recently got married, so big congrats to him if he listens to this after the fact. There you go. That's yeah, you operate that board because these are good ones. I already mentioned Matthew. He had a birthday, so I don't know how old you are, but congratulations on your birthday. Liberty, you're in the house. So you said it, and I'm going to bring it up. And listen, Telcoin Shop is coming back. So if you want Telcoin swag, Liberty is going to be reopening the doors. I think he's already got something going, but it's basically just a pass through. But as far as a Telcoin,
it depends. It depends on a few different scenarios. But I'm like a revamp of everything depends on a few certain things that I can't talk about. But okay. I am waiting on a service agreement from Telcoin so that I can do this legitly.
Perfect. All right. Yeah. So if you want swag, he is going to be the gatekeeper of all Telcoin swag. And I know some. I do have some of the stuff that Travis Matthew. I still talk about. It's a great shirt, right? That I got. So I do want to absolutely mention the Telcoin hub. And so Blue Lights. I think he may have dropped off. But man, that thing has came together. That is a wealth of information. BZ, I know you've helped him, put that thing together.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and this thing is just iterating over and over again, and just growing, and the amount of information. So those that are new, if you're here and you haven't visited the Telcoin Hub, please do so. You can Google it, and it'll come right up. But man, there's a ton of information in there. It's on tokenomics. It's on council activities. It's just everything, right? Where you can buy Telcoins. It's just, yeah. So please go out and visit that. He has put a lot of work into it, and it's big props to that, man. That thing's been humming. It's awesome. So yeah, BZ, you've done the Telcoin wiki. I know that thing's a wealth of information for newbies coming along, and we're seeing the activity pick up. We're seeing other community members that are unhappy with their communities starting to trickle in, which is always good to see. So let's welcome them and make sure that they have the data and information that they need to feel comfortable in what they're staking their money into. So big props to that. And this has been around for a bit now, but James, one of the community members, built a GPT for Tel. So there's literally a Tel GPT. You can use that to ask Telcoin specific questions and get answers, and that's an awesome tool as well. Um, so one of the things I do want to mention that I've seen, and listen, I since I've stepped back from the from the council, I've been guilty of it too. But it's the infighting of with other projects, right? And I don't know how it's perceived outside of our own little, our environment and community, but man, it seems to be that we're still in defensive mode, still to this day. And I'm just wondering, as a community, all of us, when is it like enough is out there that we don't have to play defense anymore? You know what I mean? So it was one of the talking points. Maybe we'll cover it this time, maybe next time, but it's just something to think about. Like, when has Telcoin done enough where we're like, nah, we're not even going to engage in those fights anymore, right? It's just not even worth it because we know what we know, and we know the path is laid and where it's heading. So it's just, I even responded to an XRP maxi, like he called it a scam today. I was like, "What are you fucking talking about? Scams don't get legislation passed and then get banking regulate banking approvals through because they're scam. Like, it's just crazy, right? And again, I'm guilty of it too. But when as a community we're like, you know what? Let's just let those assholes be assholes and move on with what we know, is going to happen in the future. So again, we don't have to address it today, but I think that's something we should all think about, and
Not
and
right
how
now.
not yeah, right. As we lambasted the entire state of Wyoming earlier in this chat. So but
Well,
anyway,
to that, Steve, what you were saying is that, the whole critical moment right now is that everybody is seeing that a lot of the XRP people have been
yep.
really kind of pulling over to our community,
I didn't
and
want to say it by name,
that's
but
great.
yes, yeah, that's
Yeah, we
one
could say it.
community. Yeah,
Corey came over and he chatted a bit today, and and there's several others that have posted about it, and it's like, look, man, I'm not gonna dog any project. I'm gonna try not to, and I'm trying to work the algorithm right, and it's good, man. We're all so early. We're
yeah, I
at
know. Yeah,
3
Hey,
trillion total market cap and going to 100 to 400 trillion in the next couple of years.
yeah.
We're
I got
early.
I've got nothing but respect for him, Chris, right? It was Chris that was
Corey,
on earlier.
Corey,
Corey.
Corey. Yeah,
I got nothing but respect for him coming on here, doing an interview with BZ, trying to learn some information, getting the information out there, coming on there, in the dog the the doghouse and asking questions. Being that that was respect, like that was respectful. Awesome,
100%,
great. But like
100%. Yeah,
I see a bunch of people out here just trying to take advantage of the moment. Like, okay, Telcoin's got the spotlight, so inevitably there's going to be people out there who are going to take advantage of this moment. And you see people out there who didn't even wasn't even invested in a Telcoin last week, and now they're just like every day they're like, okay, hey, I invested $250,000 into Telcoin now.
yeah.
I'm not buying it. They're just trying. They're trying to boost up their. If he did, props. But I didn't see that on either
On
scan or
chain. Yeah,
nothing
Yeah.
adds up to that. There's going to be some guys out there, and it is what it is.
At the end of the day, everybody's going to be looking for an opportunity, right? And especially in a social media era where people are actively looking for likes and retweets and new followers and this, that, whatever, they're going to do whatever they can to get that. Like, to me, I don't really give a shit how many followers I have. I don't really care. That's not my motivation. My motivation is to help people financially, get.
Andrew is a peer educator. Yes, it's Andrew. You do well.
For
I know
sure.
you. Yeah, you're just a peer educator.
Canadian, just a good-hearted guy.
Yeah,
maple syrup.
Loves beavers and maple syrup, but hey, whatever.
Yes, sir.
That's what they do up there.
You look at this, like everybody
And
in this
whiskey.
chat right now. You
I
look
do
at
love
everybody in this
whiskey.
chat right now. Most of the people in this chat right now, they've been here for years.
100%. Yep.
Everybody here has been here for years. We've interacted with each other for years, and I don't want to like sound.
Are we getting emotional?
Fruity? No, maybe.
Liberty's gonna sound fruity. Let's go.
Whiskey's kicking in. We're getting emotional.
You got to say it now.
This
Let's
is
go,
kind
Liberty.
of like a tight community that we've kind of
It
formed
is.
over the last few years. We've gone through the fucking shitter together.
Liberty, to your point, there's a reason why we call ourselves the Telfam. We
back each other up.
We've been through the thick and thin.
If I see somebody coming around who I think is taking advantage of the community, I'm gonna fucking call them out.
Yeah,
I know you are.
I don't know. I feel like everybody be protective of our community.
And Liberty, I 100% agree with that, right? And I think we all should and do that, right? Protect each other and make sure that there is no false flags, or people aren't getting sucked into some nonsense that we've seen over and over again happen. Right? We do protect, but I'm saying, like, do we have to take jabs? You know what I mean? Do we take jabs, or do we allow the product to speak for itself? Like, we back this product. We know where it's going. You know what I mean?
You're gonna have guys who will sit there and just talk shit until they're dead.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'm done talking to you. You're just
yeah. I think at the end of the day, the goal is to educate more people on what is going on and all that kind of stuff. And you're gonna
you recognize the people that do come to the community, like Corey earlier. Like he was a respectful guy. Like
he sounds genuine. He's interested in the project. He wants to know kind of what's going on. You're gonna get, like, to your point, Liberty, there's gonna be people that are gonna try to take advantage of the rising tide. Right? Like, we literally just got approval to be a bank, in
the first bank,
right?
The very first.
Yeah. So there's going to be opportunists that come into the fold, right? And to your point, Liberty, like, yeah, it's not gonna lie, it's probably pretty easy to call them out on, hey, I've never seen you before, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, you're a big supporter of Tel. Well, where have you been the last 5 years? Right?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But you have people that are probably new, who didn't know of the project before, potentially like Corey. It sounds like he's been involved for a while based on what he said, but may not have been in tuned to, the full ecosystem. Because again, for the people that have been here for a long time, like, the entirety of the ecosystem of Telcoin is pretty vast. Like, there's a lot of things going on. Right. And it's hard from, like, that perspective, from a new person coming in, to really understand everything going on. Like, for us, it's easy because day in, day out, we're, Telcoin, maxis. I don't know if I necessarily like that term, but,
how dare you?
You fucking idiot. But you know what I mean? Like, we've been involved in this community, day in, day out for, almost half a decade, almost a full decade, right? Like, there are us that are there, that know what's going on. But for new people coming in, they need to understand kind of, okay, well, what's the association? What's the network? What's the bank? How does it all connect? What is it like? How does it make sense? What's the Tel token?
Well, I think what burns us the most, right? And I'm speaking collectively, and maybe you feel this way or maybe you don't, but it's, you get the false saviors that um, have done no homework. Here we are doing this. The association's doing their work. The team is doing their work. The community is participating with each other day in and day out, like you just said, Andrew. And then you get these false flags, and they come in, and it's just like, oh, here I am, and I don't know anything, but I bought 1 billion of something, and it just doesn't sit right, with the
Well,
people
again, when
that.
we can like look on Etherscan and like, okay, well, nobody has a
Right.
wallet with that exact amount of actual
Now,
Tel coins. So like, okay, well, show us your receipts.
now,
Show us
Andrew,
your
if
buy
he if
transactions. Let
he
me see the transaction hash. You want to be a part of the community? Well, prove it.
here, Andrew, if they use my code, I don't
Oh,
mind one
Jesus
bit.
fucking Christ.
You are such a sellout, dude.
What a
Got a
fucking
point.
sellout. Like, he doesn't
Especially if
stop.
they're gonna buy a lot, right? Like,
Like,
just use my code.
like
And
this
I'm
has
cool
been
with
going
it.
on for like 3 hours, and like you can't stop talking about yourself. Jesus Christ. Fucking
Please,
hell.
these whole things are for the community, not for myself. So
Yeah, it
I am
sounds
all
debatable.
but. Thanks, Phil.
I love you. You know that.
I know. But anyway, listen, again, I want to go through this community news. I think it's very important that we,
No, it's huge. It's huge. And
yeah, I mean, people are doing a lot of work. Like I said, whether it's the council members or even the council members like Blue Lights and BZ doing all these side projects that aren't really in the purview of the council seat that they hold,
again,
right? I
if I'm
mean,
being
what
honest,
the work
again,
you're
that's
doing on
it's
the
not
work you're doing on
it's
with Telex, it's you guys are doing so much, and sometimes it goes unnoticed, and I just want to make sure you guys get the
well, and
appreciation
again,
because we
Steve, I
all do
appreciate
appreciate
that.
it.
I
Yeah,
really do. But again, it doesn't stem from anything other than the love and devotion that we have again for the
I agree.
company, right? Like
Absolutely.
there's a reason why we choose to invest the amount of time that we do. And
Yeah,
again, Derek, BZ, BZ, whatever, fuck. You've been, an integral part coming into this and having so much time and effort and energy into it. But it's not because you just have time to do whatever you want to do. It's you see what's going on, you understand kind of the long-term projections of what is coming to fruition, and you appreciate it, and you want to push it forward, and you want to be
yeah,
involved and continue to push it forward, right? So
yeah. I think we all
Right.
do. I
Yeah.
mean,
No, yeah.
we
For
all
sure.
really do. It's just the heart of this community is driving only for the same end result, right? And it's success for Telcoin, and also that success trickles down to us as holders, right? Um, so it's a great community, and people's doing above and beyond the call of duty in a lot of instances. Liberty with the store, BZ with the wiki, Blue Lights with
the hub.
the hub, yeah. James with the chat or
AI.
the TeleGBT. I mean, it's crazy. Like, these are all side
Freelance, essentially.
projects, freelance, right?
Yeah.
Right. And Andrew, you're doing the Lord's work on Telex and education and building out Telex University, so people know how to stake
Pay
and
that man.
what impermanent loss is, right? That's always the biggest question. What's impermanent loss? Like, understanding how liquidity pools work, and so this is all imperative to the success of not holdings but everything else around it. So I just want to make sure that everybody gets credit when credit's due, and just the constant likes and shares and positive posts on X. I mean, we just can't get enough of that stuff, right? Neptune was in here, with his videos, and even the newbies coming in. It's just it's great to see, and I just want to make sure that everybody's
Yeah, again, at the end of the day, as long as it's genuine, then again, we can support that, right? At the end of the day,
100%.
right?
Yeah,
Like, we
I
don't
mean,
want new people coming in and taking advantage of people. Like, again, you understand the
yeah,
project. Again, like I said, it's and I'll be honest, it's a lot to take in when you first come into it, especially like right now. Like if I was coming into this situation and understanding Telcoin right now, it's a lot to take in.
It is a lot.
I'm
It
not
is
gonna lie
very
to you.
much
It's
a
a
lot.
lot to take in, and
Right.
you have to lean on people that know a little bit more than probably you do to understand it a little bit more, right? But when you show that level of wanting to learn, that understanding, all that kind of stuff, hey, we'll welcome you in with open arms. You know what? You want to
100%.
understand what Telcoin is? You want to ask questions? Honestly, I'm happy. Like I'm not gonna lie, I spend countless hours in DMs explaining things to people, and
I know
I
you do.
don't mind doing it because I love doing it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But
It's not like
that's
those
genuine interest, right?
right. It's not like those
to
those council seats aren't making anybody rich, right? I
no,
mean,
not yet.
and we're
At least not yet.
not yet. I mean, it may pay off, but the fact is that at this point, everybody's participating into the councils because of the passion that they have for the community and for the or the company. I shouldn't say project, but the company,
You did
and
it too. The
want to
whiskey's
see.
kicking in, eh?
It really is,
Good.
but
You?
I'm not gonna. And so, and then my last point I wanted to bring up is this whole rush of community engagement to get a free listing on Coin Metro. I mean, it's been awesome to see just the turnout of people. Like I'm an ecosystem guy through and through. Everybody knows my stance on exchanges. I don't hide it. But the fact is that I can appreciate the enthusiasm in the community to want something like that, and going out and voting and creating accounts and going through KYC so they can vote and all this stuff. It's great to see. I mean, it's just that's the passion that
Well,
stands behind
think
this company.
think about it just from like the voting perspective when it was on X. I think we were a week late in
Yep.
terms of starting like that first round with Coin
And
Metro.
hammered them and squashed
Smashed
it.
them. Smashed, right?
Yeah.
And then
That
now we're in the
that
Telegram.
deserves.
Here we go. Now we're in the Telegram, round 2, smashing that again as well. And now, it looks like we'll be part of, the final rounds. And I know Nick's not here anymore, but he's been honestly like a big caveat of getting Coin Metro going and all this stuff. Right. So like we're going to get to the point now where we're going to be in the final stage of, that getting those votes through those registrations, like you said, Steve. But like the community just is full board, like ready to do whatever it takes to get things going and pushing forward, right? So like it's so easy to welcome people that have a genuine interest.
Agreed.
When the guards come up, when people come in and just are looking to benefit from the rising tide, that's when the guards come up and it's like, okay, to Liberty's point, like, hey, who the fuck are you? Where the fuck do you come from? Like
Liberty will throw down. Like
he doesn't give a shit, and I love that about him.
Yeah, I get it. Again, and so another one, like coin market cap, like how much effort did the community hammer coin market cap to correct its information, and finally after the bank release, so they corrected the information, right?
Listen, if
I
you
mean,
can organize a Telfam to do anything, they'll crush it.
They'll fucking hammer it. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree.
Ty, another fellow Telfam member, Mr.
Hi, what is it? 4 in the morning over there? What time is it, man? You got to be.
Well, hello there, everybody. No, it's 4:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
And I'm on my way to the racing tonight for an annual get-together with some old colleagues that we've been doing a night at the Trots that's called.
Ty's on happy hour. He's good to go.
Yeah, I'm on happy year, mate.
Yeah,
so I joined a wee bit later. I was tied up earlier, but don't know if we really talked about Telex and the new Telex V4 pools.
We're getting there.
Yeah, man, just an apology to the community because the hassles we've had to go through just getting these V4 hooks working. It was all a great push to get the hook working for the rewards for the voting power, but then the rewards for the pools themselves has taken, an extra push, much more than we originally anticipated, and I think it's safe to say it's been a learning curve for us all.
It's definitely been a situation where we bit off probably more than we can chew, to say the least. And Ty, I know we've talked offline enough that we are probably aligned that we probably should have taken things a little bit slower to get things going. But it is what it is. We're in the situation we are now. But,
Andrew, quick question for you and Ty. Would it have? So I know you've been working and intermingling with holdings on this whole process for the V4 hooks and all that stuff, and using Telfam Holdings devs. Would it have been easier to subcontract that out and maybe run with somebody that could have developed that outside of the ecosystem?
Like maybe, but like it's hard. It's hard to say for sure, just because I think part of the challenge was that we had Amir that had started, the process, and then halfway, essentially through the process, Amir decided to make an adjustment with his career, and go somewhere else. Which again, we've had that with Rajesh, we've had that with Will. Again, love those guys. They've done amazing things for the project. Again,
any company is going to have transitions, right?
Yeah, exactly, right. So same with Amir. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, I think the problem, apart from the change in resource with Amir, the problem right from the get-go was these hooks are so cutting edge. There's not a lot of people know, and I come from an IT development background, so you have an idea, but sitting down and writing a technical spec to hand over to developers to explicitly describe exactly how you want the thing to function is a whole scoping exercise in itself. Then you never really you would not know who you were dealing with. And better the devil you know than the devil you don't, because it's such a critical aspect of the ecosystem to get right, to be sure there's no backdoor entries for bad actors, to make sure the audits are going, in full compliance mode. There's a lot of stuff that certainly I don't think it would have been any better or any quicker trying to find it out outside of holdings. So, that's certainly my feelings on it.
Yeah, to add to that too, Ted, like I think conceptually, again, the thought process was with this concentrated liquidity, not to dive too deep into stuff, but like I feel like we could probably have like our own kind of chat specifically on Telex stuff, but not to dive too much, but like with the concentrated liquidity, again, it's not a little bit, but it's very different from kind of V2 balancer pools to Uniswap V4. And the thought process was to just associate the rewards based on the amount of fees that were generated by each individual position, which again in theory seems very simple, but in actuality it's a lot more complicated behind the scenes. And again, like I said, we've bitten off a little bit more. I think that we can chew. We probably didn't go through the rings as much as we probably should have in terms of testing things out before everything was launched. But to Ty's point, like this was a huge, I think, learning experience for us. But now that we've gone through it, like again, Derek, you were there, essentially last night. We had like a good 3-4 hour conversation with a couple people in the Telegram chat asking questions, trying to, understand, the full specs. Luckily enough, Marcus was online on Slack to answer some of the questions that I had for him. But we came to a consensus on, getting a document together with, what the actual rules are, what it means, and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I
It's a
think,
beast. It's yeah. I mean, I gotta say from it's not my counsel, but from the outside looking in, the amount of work you guys have put in, even regardless of, I guess the way I look at it is like people judge things based on ease of use, right? That's why CEXs are so popular, right? Because DeFi was never considered quote unquote easy to use, and liquidity is kind of the same way. And really like watching this process and seeing from the outside in, you guys go through this. Seeing kind of also what Uniswap has done also. It's very impressive. I really like. I know like it's not a necessarily ever a final product, right? We're always tweaking, we're always doing things different, but like it is very very easy. It's a really good product. I think I'm really happy on how that's gone, and I
Yeah,
know there's
thanks,
some things to
Daisy.
tweak, but you guys have done that's a lot of work. I don't want
And I
to
mean,
like shortchange
no,
that because
and again,
yeah,
going back to the earlier point about would it be better third party rather than holdings? Man, the guys from Holdings, Marcus, Khalil, even Amir when he was there in the early days trying to work out what was going on, these guys bust a gut to try and deliver what we needed. And so again, you're judged by your actions when your backs are against the wall. And our backs were against the wall, and these guys came through and delivered. And we got the hooks ready for the elections. We've done 2 periods now. Period 14 rewards have just come out in the last couple of hours. So we're getting there. We're ironing out the kinks, and full credit to the effort that's going on behind the scenes, because I know even I've been doing a lot of testing on my own positions, and I found something that 3 sets of auditors had missed, and it was something that just wasn't quite right, and that caused Marcus to have a deeper dive into it. And he came up and he said, yeah, there is a situation here. It's a rare occurrence, but it can happen. And within a few hours, he had a solution. So credit where credit is due, I think, on that front.
yeah,
well, I think I also want to say from the outside looking in too, like this is during the middle of an election. I think that can't be understated. Not to like sit here and kiss your guys' asses, but like it's difficult when you have to have this all ready by an election during a network rollout, right? We're working on an L1, and on top of that, we're transitioning seats. So I mean, I know it's not 100% the cleanest, right? But I think the end product is it's a really clean product to use. I'm excited to see where it goes. You guys deserve a lot of props for that.
Yeah, thanks. I'm finally just before I go on a more personal level, I'd like to give a shout out to my ever growing Scottish accent fan base out there. AJ's daughter in particular loves my rolling R's, and Dali's wife never fails to listen to a telex meeting now. So bring it on, ladies.
Ty the womanizer.
Awesome.
And with that, I'll continue my journey to the race course.
I don't know if
Have a good
there's
time,
ever
man.
been a more predominant mic drop, but that's fucking it right there.
That's fucking mint right there.
That was awesome.
Well, I think it's been established that Ty's voice is going to carry on through the Telex University courses. So if we don't have all of it, if not one of the courses in Ty's voice, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
All right, then. Well, cheerio for now.
Love it, Ty. Appreciate it, buddy.
See you, Ty.
See you guys.
Cheers.
But yeah, to speak to that, it's like I said, it's been a full scale situation where, like, you know, like for me, like, I'm very particular about how things go, and I would prefer to take things slow, get it right, and all that kind of stuff. And I know we're a little bit more speedy to get this thing going than I probably would have preferred. But hey, we got to a point where things are moving a little bit better in the right direction. And, you know, to Derek and Ty's point, you know, it's going to be a nice product at the end of the day. It's just, you know, we've gone through some growing pains. But, you know, sometimes going through that with a new system and all that kind of stuff, it's unfortunate, but you've got to kind of do that. And I've got a lot of DMs from a lot of liquidity miners, and I've got a lot of feedback that I'm taking back to the team to how to, you know, make this whole situation better. And we're actively working to that. So for any
Andrew, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, buddy, but I'm super excited for the work that you guys are putting into Telex University as well. So to what you're speaking to now, more people understand it, right? Because I know,
that's the goal of the university too, right? Like
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I
it's to
mean,
get.
you talk about all this technology that's going into what you guys are establishing, and you know, this is a product for the user to take advantage of, right? And close looping that with the Telex University, and so they completely understand what they're doing and what they can earn and participate in with their assets. I think is going to be wildly successful, right? And make Telex even more successful than it is now.
Yeah, well, the goal is to try to keep things as simple as possible. Again, my methodology and my thought process is always on the KISS model. Keep it simple, stupid, right?
Yeah.
You know, just
Yeah, for guys like me, man, you got to
you
keep
know
it
what,
simple.
that you set that up on a T-ball, and I'm gonna let that one slide. But you know, but you're absolutely right, Steve. Like, essentially, at the end of the day, like, we need to position Telex providing liquidity, and again, we talked about a little bit, you know, before about, you know, providing that kind of financial freedom and giving people a little bit more authority as to what they can do with their financials, their finances, so to speak, right? And if we can educate people a little bit more on Telex and lower the barriers for entry, then what that does is that's going to, you know, have a higher percentage of liquidity, sorry, fucking whiskey, is gonna
We're
help.
2 hours and 40 minutes in, pal. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
We all get it.
I'm a half a
We're all right
bottle. I'm
there
a
with
half
you.
a bottle deep, and we're feeling good. But
Same.
anyways,
Same.
but what that's gonna do is essentially it's gonna, you know, provide more liquidity for the system, and what that liquidity does for the system is it provides more advantageous swaps and lower slippage rates, which, you know, provides better rates and everything for everybody, which entices more people to get in. And again, we always talk about the kind of like that flywheel effect, right? Where, you know, low slippage entices more people to trade, which, you know,
But
brings up
right,
higher
yeah,
levels of fees, which entices more people to provide liquidity, which then again reduces fees, and then again we keep going in that kind of circular,
right. But
you
my
know,
point
model.
is, Andrew,
But
is just with that model that you just went through so eloquently is what people don't understand yet, right? I mean, I just don't see, or I think that there's more users that could be taking advantage of
well,
Telex
100%. But
platform.
I think it stems from the educational side, which is why we wanted to
Agreed.
push that,
That's yeah,
right?
that's my point.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So
Yep.
like,
Agreed.
not, like, if I'm being honest, I probably, like, looking through, and again, I'm gonna give Storm a lot of props. Like, you know what, like, I think the community doesn't see a lot of what they do behind the scenes, and what they do behind the scenes is honestly next level. Like, you hear Geo talking
Man,
every now and then, and, you know, he literally says, you know, next level, next level, next level. What what we're doing, I agree is next level. I may be a little bit biased, but what Storm is helping us do is also next level. Like the Zach, which most of everybody probably doesn't even know who he is, literally put the entire script together of like the first module of Telex University. And between Ty, myself, and Leo, we've been reviewing kind of the information that he's been putting together. And between the three of us, like we've probably put a good 10, 15, 20, 30 hours together, just reviewing and enhancing kind of the documentation and the language of what we want to put together for
That's awesome.
this university. And in all honesty, this is probably the first time we're talking about it publicly, but we've actually, between the three of us, we actually just finally signed off on like that first module of
Andrew.
Yeah, go.
Do you think that there might be a benefit in doing an even more basic rundown of providing liquidity?
So that's what we did with the first module is essentially that, Liberty. It's like what I told, Ermias, Geo, whoever you guys want to call him, was that like for me, we got to keep it simple. Again, that KISS model where think about grandma and grandpa. They have no idea what the hell's going on with crypto. They have no idea what's going on with liquidity pools. How do we get them to provide liquidity into the pools? And if we can get grandma and grandpa into the pools, that should be enough to educate everybody else.
Right.
I mean, it's passive income. It's passive income,
But,
right? I mean,
my biggest fear. I've been in here for years now, and I'm still terrified to even touch the pools because I don't know anything about it. But also, the thing that scares me is the 2 words is impermanent loss, and I don't know how that works. I don't know how, just an even basic 1-minute video saying this is how it works, this is what impermanent loss is, and just
that's all.
Take the fear out
That's
of
all
it.
going to be built into the university. And to give you a quick synopsis of what essentially impermanent loss is essentially the difference between you providing liquidity and holding the assets and what that valuation does in terms of fiat value. So if you have, Telcoin and you want to put it into a liquidity pool, and at the point that you add that liquidity, it's at, a 1-to-1 ratio, but it goes to a 1.2 or a 1.5% ratio, depending on the asset you put it in. You're going to have a little bit of what's called impermanent loss, which essentially means that you have less TEL tokens, but more of the other token that you provided within that pool, right? So on a fiat value, you could put in, say, $2,000, right? But through the volatility within the market and how those assets pair within each other, you could go from a point where if you just held TEL and it went from 2,000 to 4,000, right? You just held it, and that's kind of what would happen. If you provided liquidity and you went from 2,000 to 3,700, well, that $300 is your impermanent loss, right? Again, it's not real until you actually take it out of the pool, but the components that we're trying to put forward is you're also going to get those fees from the swaps, but you're also going to get the incentives. So if in that situation where you go from 2,000 to 4,000 just from holding, but if you have 3,700 in the pool, right, from that same situation, but you've also earned 200 in fees and 200 in incentives. Well, now you have a 4,100 versus 4,000. So the benefits there, right? So it's more of an understanding of the situation. But
I'd just like to jump in here for a wee minute as well. I was in these, V4 pools, and they were all doing very nicely until TEL day, when TEL price just rocketed.
Went up? Yeah, right. Went up.
Man, I lost over 2 million TEL because it all got converted to ETH. And, you know, I'm still kind of recovering by trying to buy back the TEL. So it can be nice as a revenue generator, but it can also be bloody dangerous.
It's
But keep in mind, Ty,
right? Yeah.
Keep in mind, Ty, that
Yeah.
example
You're
is
selling
very
it.
You know,
You're selling it to me, Ty.
yeah, so
Like-
just going with a little part of the course material is actually know the risks involved. And one of the things we say is start off slow, start off small.
So Ty, to that
Yeah.
point, I can also counter that argument, right? So if you provide liquidity, let's call it to a TEL USDC pool at the peak of the market, right? And I've actually done the math on like the last bull market from like peak to trough. If you provide liquidity in like say like a TEL 50/50 USDC pool at the peak of the market at 6.5 cents, down to where we were at 0.2, whatever you want to call it, you actually would have 8x'd your TEL position.
Yeah,
So
no,
you could
definitely.
have, again, it's all strategy
All
and,
section,
and
yeah.
again perception of what you want. Again, like you have again the differentiation between the Uniswap, which Ty I know is very new and unique, and it takes probably more of an advanced, more educated liquidity provider to do that versus kind of the balancer V2 where it's a full range percentage kind of thing. But if you would have provided liquidity to the balancer pool at the peak of the market, got out at the trough of the market, you would have put in say 1 million TEL and came out with 8.
So
And that
Andrew,
doesn't even include the fees.
Then it's that too.
And
And I think it's knowledge is power. You've really got to
all
know
kinds.
what you're doing.
No, but again, that comes from experience. It comes from education.
Well,
it comes from having a conversation, all that kind of stuff, which is what we want to do.
Andrew,
And
we've
again,
talked.
if more people want to have a conversation about TELX, I am happy to host spaces like this to specifically talk about TELX, to talk about strategy, to talk about
Andrew,
ups
you
and
should
downs.
You should do a workshop. You should
Yeah,
absolutely
I
do a
agree.
workshop. I think that'd be awesome.
I'll host it and put up my code the whole time.
If I'll fucking kill it.
Andrew, can I ask you one thing?
But like the other thing, Ty, you had mentioned this to me a long time ago, and I think this is important to bring up. Impermanent loss is a scary word because the word loss is in it, right? But like, if you really think about it at brass tacks, it's just converting one crypto to another, and it's really decoupling, right? So like, if you think about like what just happened with TEL, right? It decoupled from ETH. Like if you were in the TEL and ETH pool, TEL went parabolic and ETH kind of stayed the same because of the news that happened, right? So that is when you get yourself kind of in a rut. But like, yeah, right. But like if TEL and ETH kind of flow together, which normally happens, you stay in that range and everything's
You're okay.
copacetic, and but it can also always come back. So, but it's not like you lose, like quote unquote lose anything. You don't gain as much, if that makes sense.
But
so like,
okay, but keep in mind too, like from that perspective, Derek, like if you go into the pool with the mindset, like say with like balancer like V2, and I say I want to put 80% into TEL and 20% into Bitcoin, regardless of what I put in there and how things fluctuate, I'm okay with that balance, right?
Absolutely,
Like if
yeah.
TEL moons and does its thing, I'm still okay that I like both of these assets. I'm okay with putting $5,000 into this pool, and whatever happens, I'm still happy that 80% of it is in TEL and 20% is
absolutely
in right. So it's all a mindset and the strategy and all that kind of stuff. So
the other thing too to think about, though, to Andrew, to your point, like you know how we always talk about, how am I going to bridge this, or how am I going to swap this for TEL? Like if an asset, like let's say you're in the ETH and TEL pool, right, and ETH outperforms TEL, and so that pool mix switches, and you end up burning more TEL because ETH is outperforming. Your kind of doing the job for yourself, right? Because I mean, you're like, if your goal is to
Dollar
kind
cost
of,
averaging.
yeah, right, your dollar cost
Yeah.
averaging without doing it, right?
Yeah,
And you're
you're
earning rewards
accumulating.
and kickbacks at the
Yeah,
same time. So it's like,
exactly.
it's a win-win. It's
But
a
again,
win-win.
it all comes back to understanding the
It's
whole concept
education.
of it and understanding the strategy that you want to put forward. Again, if the end goal at the end of the game is to acquire more TEL tokens, well, it's probably best for you to get into the liquidity pools at the peak of the market and ride it down. Right?
For sure.
As opposed to like, okay, all I want to do is, generate fees, or all I want to do is generate rewards. Well, again, that's going to be market specific, but again, it all relates to what is your plan, what is your strategy, all that kind of stuff, right? And again, if people have questions about that, I'm happy to answer DMs. Like, I've done that multiple times, hundreds of times probably.
Andrew, you should definitely do a workshop. I think that'd be awesome. I think you and
we,
Ty
we've
and
we've
Telex
done it
team
in the
should do it. It'd be
past.
really cool.
We've done it in the past. Then again, I will make myself available for anybody that has questions specifically to Telex. Like, that is, again, a passion thing for me, which is obviously why I'm involved as much as I am. But again, it goes back to having a plan, having a strategy, knowing what you want to do. What are, the time, what's the length of time that you want to be in these pools? What do you really want to get out of it? What assets do you really appreciate, in the ecosystem, all that kind of stuff. You got to be able to answer those questions to then formulate a proper strategy. And then from there, the challenge, I think, that most people probably have a hard time with is not just setting the strategy, but following it, right? And that's the big thing for me, is just set the strategy once you understand kind of what you want to do, but follow the strategy and understand it. Like, for me, if, like, okay, I'm going to put 10 grand into a, TEL 50-50 pool with wrapped ETH or wrapped, BTC, whatever. I don't care if, BTC outperforms or if TEL outperforms. I'm happy with that value being split 50-50, right? You got to be understanding of that. So it just comes from an understanding of being educated about it, which again is the whole point of this whole Telex University thing, to kind of bring this full circle. Is just to make sure that you fully understand the aspect of what this is, how you can benefit from it, and what your strategy is to, put these funds to work for you in that way.
You done now?
Fuck you.
Okay.
I can talk about Telex for fucking probably 2 hours.
I know you can, and I love it because, listen,
Can you hear the passion?
every time I hear the passion, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, Andrew, because
That was
literally
cold, dude.
I think that the
Steve's a dick. Fuck, I hate him.
No. Back to what I said
love you,
originally.
but
The educational point is critical here. Like, I mean, I want like, I've done well in the pools. I've been out of them for some time now, but I want people to understand exactly what they're doing so they can maximize the position that they move into and take advantage of them. And I know I'm nowhere near as educated and up on what you and Ty and the rest of the Telex Council are building and stabilizing. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that educational piece is coming, and this is another key element of where you can go instead of just sitting on your assets. These are places that you can take them and earn with, right? So yeah, I think it's great. I think a workshop. Have you, Andrew? You said you've done those, or?
Well, I feel like we've done a couple. Like, this was probably a long time ago that we actually did
Oh
some
yeah.
specific Telex calls.
Yeah.
But again, if there's interest, I'm happy to jump on a call and talk to people.
Let's put a poll up on X and see if there's people that want a
Again,
telex
like,
specific,
if people
or
don't
they
want to
wait for the
jump on an
education.
actual call, then
Yeah,
that's
maybe
fine
they
too. Like,
or
I'll make myself available for DMs. Like, not gonna lie, actually, um, Like I've actually done like actual like FaceTime and like
Sure.
Zoom calls with other people to help them
Yeah,
understand kind of what's going on with LX. But
crypto.
I don't mind jumping on that kind of stuff if people want to do that.
Yeah, I was chatting with Crypto Loop, and he definitely wants to get on a call with you to understand the Telex platform
DMs are always open, man. Let's go.
Yeah, yep. I was just talking to him. I think it was last week or late last week. So, yeah. But I encourage everybody to reach out to Andrew and Ty and the rest of the Telex team. It's an environment where you can definitely take advantage of situational.
Especially as things like continue to grow too. Like, and if you want to be, less risk adverse, as we get like these remittance corridors open with the bank and the connection with Telex, like
Sure.
you can take, your profits potentially from these bull markets and put those into an EMXN USDC pool where there's less volatility, but you can also still gain the fees. You can still gain the rewards and all that kind
Yeah,
of
I was going
stuff
to say those are
without having
incentivized too,
that,
right?
that fluctuation of the volatility of the token prices, right? You can take, again, not financial advice, but with Telcoin, you want to make sure that you have like targets and price points where, okay, at this point, okay, I'm going to sell X amount, 5%, whatever. I'm going to sell, 5% at this amount, 5% at this amount, blah, 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 whatever. And, you accumulate, stable coins, so to speak. But in the bear markets, when, things are happening, well, put them into, the digital cash remittance corridors that, Paul keeps talking about, and earn a yield from them, right? Like there's less risk there than there would be from a volatile token, right? So keep that in mind. Again, DMs are always open. I'm happy to have these conversations with everyone and anyone. But it's just education at the end of the day, and that is the goal with what we want to do with the Telex University. It's just to educate more people on personal finance, what you can do with it, how you can make your money work for you, as opposed to your money working for a bank.
Do you have an
That's
ETA
you're
on?
putting 10 grand into a savings account. Well, that's not really doing much for you. You're going to get 2%. Well, you could probably get 15% at one of these stablecoin pools.
Do you have an ETA on the release, Andrew, for the educational piece?
Not gonna lie, probably end of year. Yeah,
Okay.
but before the end of the year, you'll probably see at least the initial module, which is the beginner one, that we want to put forward. So, like I said, we've gone through probably 4 iterations of this now. Ty, I don't see him in here anymore, but that's okay. But again, 100% compliments to the Storm team for doing the due diligence to put everything together for us to kind of review. But yeah, I would say before the end of the year, for sure, you're going to get at least the beginner module of the Telex University out there into the wild.
Very good. Yeah, and I think most, including myself, just to get refreshed because it's been a few years since I've been participating in the pools. The beginner is probably more education than most have at this moment, right? So I think that's going to be a great start.
It's specifically more around like what are liquidity pools, what is impermanent loss, like what are all the caveats to doing the initial aspect of it. Like we're going to get into more detail. Like it's the beginner pools are more specific to like the balancer pools, so to speak, because it's a little bit more basic than the Uniswap V4 pools. And those are going to be detailed in a little bit more context in further modules. But the goal initially is, like I said, we want to build it in a way where you can get grandma and grandpa to understand it and provide liquidity, right?
To be honest with you, man, I think because I don't have the education on the pools like you have, or like I said, the Ty or any of the Telex guys. I think I just got lucky in the pools when I did participate, and thank God, because I just think that the timing that I participated in and the market conditions and the rewards that Balancer at the time was offering made it very advantageous for me to participate in. But I still need to start at step one, right? And just kind of learn to make sure that I fully grasp what I'm doing again, like I said, because it's been a couple of years. So I look forward to it.
Well, you got my number, Steve. You can always call me.
No, do I?
I might start charging you a consulting fee because
I
you're
know.
not
I
getting
was
my
like,
referral code up.
I think I got every one of your numbers. So,
like I said, I'm gonna start charging you a consulting fee. Like I think I have to at this point.
Listen, man, we're at 3 hours, so
I don't even think we really dove into fully everything. We haven't
I
talked
mean,
about elections.
we didn't talk about
the council updates.
elections. No.
I don't know. What do you want to do? If people want to still go, I'm happy to keep going. I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, let me see. I mean, we can always schedule one of these next week too to cover the rest that we didn't hit today.
I'm good. Again, I'm good if people want to keep going. I don't care.
Let me see. I'm just going to see how many people are still hanging on with us.
We got a select few.
A select few.
But
we got all the good ones left.
I was just going to say I see a lot of familiar faces, so
all the good ones are still remaining. Everybody else bailed on us. Yeah, why don't we do that, Andrew? I know it's after 11 o'clock here. If you're willing, I can get another one out for next week, and we can cover the other half of our notes that we didn't get to this time.
Which seems surprising. We kind of joked around saying that this was probably going to be a long one, but
I know, and I still don't think we did due diligence or gave enough attention to the bank discussion.
Honestly, probably not. You're absolutely right. I know the first week of December I got to go to Montreal for work, but next week might be okay. But
okay, well, let's talk offline on that one, and we'll get something pushed out. Yeah, who's snoring? Do you hear that?
I think we lost. Did we lose Liberty?
Liberty's snoring. Let's all just bask in the glorious sounds of Liberty snoring.
Oh my god. That's actually him. I'm gonna fucking laugh.
It is him.
I love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
I wish you could frame this like a banger for
I'm recording it, pal. So I'm gonna clip this and post it on an X post just to
tell Coins bangers.
I'm gonna do him a favor and just at least mute his mic.
Yeah, mute his mic, but I think that's the first. I don't think we've ever had anybody pass out on us.
Whether it's
we have to
fatigue or
we've gotten blackout drunk, but I don't think anybody's ever passed out. So
you're gonna have to find out what he was drinking too. So
yeah, he said he had some Jack. He told me earlier he had some Jack that he was bringing to the party. So.
Oh God, love it.
But
great. Yeah, no, Steve. I feel like a ton of stuff that we didn't even
I know.
On. We didn't talk about Uphold that much. We didn't talk about the elections.
Let's do something next week, man.
Even the escrow that the association sent to the bank.
I know.
We didn't talk about anything going on with the councils and. Yeah, I don't know. We got tons of stuff to talk about.
Maybe we start getting into a regular cadence again.
Well, it's easier for you to say when you're retired.
I'm a busy man. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I got stuff.
I gotta ride my Harley. So tough for you.
I gotta ride my Harley and go to tiki bars. That's my job.
Oh yeah, we never brought up the tiki bar. We never brought.
We don't need to bring it up, okay? Like, I've
listen. You're the one that brought it up and posted it on X. You're the
I
tiki
know.
bar master.
I am the abuser, the tiki bar abuser is how I framed
that's
it.
probably a better way to describe it.
And I tell you, man, they got good cheeseburgers, and weight comes quickly when you get a little older, right? So,
too funny.
But I'm down 20. I'm down 20. I'm feeling better, so
good for you,
I'm good.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, you said you were walking what, like 10K?
Yeah.
You guys talking miles? What, like whatever.
Miles. So in the last week, I've walked like I can't run. My knee's shot, man. So it's 34 miles I've walked. Yeah. So
it's like
nice.
it's like 1,000 kilometers.
Yeah, sure. Is that Canadian math? I don't know.
I think it's 2.2 kilometers per mile if I'm doing math, but yeah.
Yeah, Andrew, let's get something on the calendar. Let's talk offline. We'll figure out a date, and let's recap the rest of the stuff that we kind of either didn't cover in as in depth as we wanted to, or not at all, right? And God knows
Sounds
what
good.
happens in the next 2 weeks, right? That we'll have to talk, or in the next week that we'll have to cover as well. So
sounds good, buddy. All right.
okay.
All right. Well, like honestly, like 3 hours like that flew by. Like thanks to everybody who listens. Just a couple dumb idiots drinking whiskey. Jesus Christ. Talking about Telcoin, but anyways, appreciate everybody. Love the Telfam. Steve, I'm still off and on about you, but whatever.
Get a grip, buddy. Get a grip, okay? I'm here for the long haul. I can't do nothing about it. So
I'm not going anywhere either, buddy. You know that.
All right. Yeah, thanks to reiterate it, what Andrew said. I mean, you guys are all awesome and always supportive of these community events and hosting these and always showing up and participating. So again, to what Matthew said earlier, make sure that when you're on these social media platforms that you're engaging with the posts, like, share, comment, all that good stuff to get that algorithm churning and pushing the Telcoin story. So until next time, Andrew and I will get something on the calendar pretty quickly here. He loves to hear himself talk, as do I. So we'll. Listen. I'm self-deprecating here too. So
I can't even hear myself.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So we'll get something on the calendar.